is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode number 53 of the best goddamn podcast on the motherfucking internet. It is the Pre-Patch Podcast, boys and girls, and we're back. The whole crew is here. We got Enigma, we got Scruffy, we got Bill, and we got me. So it's time to buckle up, sit back, relax, strap in, strap on. Whatever you want to do, you know.
Strap-ons.
Hey, it's like 2 hours, man. Look, there's plenty of time.
You should have heard what was going on before the podcast. We're already a little spicy.
Dude, Craig has got it.
Craig's got the insider information on what goes on beforehand.
Hi,
Craig knows all and sees all.
Hi, Craig. But welcome in, everybody, across all of the interwebs, whether it's Twitch over here on our channels with Enigma and Scruffy and mine, or you're over at YouTube with Billy Space, the Space Squid. Make sure you get them fucking underscores out of there because nobody wants them.
Nobody needs them.
We're live, and hopefully you are live with us. And again, if not, well, you can go listen to us after the fact. We're all the way up to 52, caught all the way up. So this episode, you'll be fresh and ready. Anchor.fm/Pre-Patch Podcast. Just saying. Go check us out. Fucking dope.
What you want?
Everybody just take a moment. Just let that soak in as I spit all over my mic. All right.
Well, that's better than, an ASMR ear.
Somehow.
Oh god, dude, I was every time I scroll up and try to get to the notes section, I have to pass that thing, and I just feel real awkward, man.
do you not want to hit your mic with the Gluck Gluck 9000?
God, dude, I mean, it was just like aha.
Man, she was getting it. That's all I'm saying is like.
I'm sorry for
I don't blame her.
Anybody's ears that I just like molested with my tongue. But
hey man, you get paid for money. You get paid money for that nowadays,
right? I wish. Anyway, guys, welcome in. It is episode 53, and man, what a week! 2 weeks. It has been. Some great games have come out. Some games have gone into lawsuit, and some companies have been purchased. So it's been just a phenomenal, kind of 2 weeks all the way around. But as always, we kind of kick off with Twitch news, YouTube news, streaming news, all of those kind of things. So Bill, we saw the post. I did some research on that post that you sent off, which was like the stuff about people getting banned.
Yeah, is it fact checked to be false?
It's not that it's fact checked to be false. It's fact checked to be a kind of a gotcha tight like thing. The only reason I say that is because I know what like they're talking about pulling reports from Solinome and things like that. And basically what we're talking about, Chad, is that there is a report going around of like 60,000 plus people, affiliates, and or partners being like indefinitely banned off of Twitch. The problem that I have is when you listen to it all and you actually go and do like a lot of the research in there, a lot of those channels are dead channels that were bot channels that were affiliated and either not being used or wrongfully partnered, things like that. So it's basically like a clean sweep of accounts that they have done. It's just now it's like being used in a gotcha-esque kind of journalist, or not gotcha, but like clickbait. That's the
clickbait.
Clickbait's the proper.
Yeah, that's kind of what my mind went to when I saw that. I'm like, I don't think Twitch would just straight up ban hammer to like 60,000 plus channels.
Oh no, Twitch 100% would just ban hammer 60,000 channels.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the same Twitch that we're talking
more
about,
of the
right?
cleanup crew kind of thing, and it doesn't surprise me either because I also saw like I was looking at my follower count and it went from like it dropped like at least 10. So I think like a more not even just like affiliate streamers, all that. I think they did a cleanup of like a bunch of bot stuff as well, like botted accounts, viewers, and whatnot. So
I'm interested to see how many. Well, I can't see it from here. I have to wait until I can go. I wonder how many followers I have lost because of that. But yeah, so anyway, that's I don't know. You can keep some eye on it if you want. It's trending on Twitter, or it's on Twitter. It's not trending on Twitter, but you can find it on Twitter, and there's some sites out there and some YouTube channels that kind of go into it. But just keep in mind, again, we don't like the stuff they're reporting on. There's not a whole lot. They don't go super in depth with like exactly why people were banned. It's just like, oh, these were TOS bans. Well, TOS bans can be as simple as like I farted on my mic and someone didn't like it. You know what I mean? Like,
or sucking your mic.
Yeah,
Again, yeah.
You know, for doing 37 hours and 1 minute of stream, you're gonna get banned. So, you know, that kind of stuff. One thing I did want to address real quick. I need to rewind. I wanted to bring something up real quick. This is a promotion for my sister, my little sister. She's hosting an event. If you are in the Daytona Beach area in Florida, she is hosting an event that serves to promote the awareness of the opioid and fentanyl spike in the United States. This effort includes a presentation on resources like the 999 Crisis Addiction Line, a demo on Narcan distribution, a harmful reduction course by Out of Harm's Reach and Safety, while advocating for more frank conversations on drug use, addiction, mental health, and other relative issues. Also in attendance will be local vendors and artists. All sales will partly benefit the live free 999, as well as a portion of ticket sales to this event. This event is donation based, but the standard $10 donation, there's a standard $10 donation is encouraged if you'd like to do that. So if you have any questions regarding it, I'm reading from a script. Give me a second. No, I am not giving out my little sister's phone number. But if you,
that's probably a terrible idea, especially on Twitch.
Let's not do that. But
is there any sort of link or site?
There, you can go to the live free 999 site or Out of Harm's Reach site. Look up, it's livefree999.org is the website. You can go there and check it out. But this is something my little sister is hosting. And again, if you're in the Daytona Beach, Florida area, you can go check it out. It's on the 27th of February and 26th of February, 7:30 p.m. On the 26th, 12 p.m. on that Sunday. So check it, take a look.
Great cause, honestly. I've got more friends than I care to count on my hand that have had issues with addiction for opioids and painkillers and everything like that. It's a rough thing, man. Yeah. It's very bad over here in the United States too, like everywhere over here.
Absolutely. So
support.
So go check it out.
I dropped the link in all the chats for anyone.
Appreciate that. Okay, so streaming news. I wanted to take this time to actually talk about a product that we all have looked at. I have actually purchased and then in turn refunded the purchase of. But done quite a bit of research on Beacon. BEACN. Actually, Scruff, if you can send. Actually, let me. Copy this real quick because I can actually post across all channels as well. There's that, but it is Beacon. I think it's just Beacon Mike or Beacon.com, but it comes up as like Bacon. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, Beacon.com.
So Beacon is the website that you can go to. They were the guys behind the Go XLR TC Helicon. And the Go XLR Mini, which myself and Scruffy use, and kind of really endorse that product. They came out with a audio interface, like pretty much a Stream Deck audio. I don't even know if I'd consider that an audio interface. Just the mix itself, and then a mic. Well, the program is the thing. Like that's why I wanted to talk about this. So,
it's pretty much, okay.
What are your guys' thoughts on all of it? Let's start there. So the mic, the mix create, and the mix. What's your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts on it is like the mic. It's nice and everything like that. It's a really high quality USB mic, right? But it's nothing special. Like it really isn't that top tier, top quality of a USB microphone, right? You can get the same quality of mic from like Elgato, right? I think the biggest thing with them is that software, the software suite that they have with it. That's where your money's at with that entire program. And if they actually put that software suite out, I think they'd actually sell the software suite more than they'll sell the microphone and the mixer.
Right, so you can't buy it separately. It's a package deal.
Yeah, you have to buy one of the microphones or the mixers in order to get it.
Because I'm not too informed on this yet. I haven't really taken the time to look at it. Just from what you guys have been saying and everything, it looks like you're all saying that like it's more of you're buying the software rather than the mic. Is that?
Yeah.
Well,
is that how it is pretty much?
From what I've seen, at least.
So it's And Bill, I want to get your opinion on this too, because I know that you're kind of in the boat, especially on the mic side. Like, it is a better mic in my opinion than the Blue Yeti. I think the Blue Yeti has been like that
Yeah,
standard
100%.
USB mic that everyone kind of goes to. It's
It's a starter mic
it's affordable, right? Yeah, I
nowadays.
mean it's
Yeah.
it's an
It's a
affordable
starter mic,
mic.
yeah.
But I think that we can all attest that like Bill's voice sounds extremely different than like Scruffy's voice. Both are hooked up to two different types of audio interface. Bill uses voice meter and voice banana hammock, banana something, right?
Voice meter banana and a audio mixer, light host audio mixer.
So there's that, and then you've got Scruffy who is using a Go XLR Mini, or no, the Mini, right?
Yeah,
So
as well as attached to the Yeti. I think both of us have Yetis, right?
yes, so you have like you can hear there's a clear difference between the two. In my opinion, I think the Beacon mic, if you have a USB mic that looks like the Yeti or the Snowball or something of that nature, I think it is an upgrade because you get the
100%.
software and the mic itself does all the processing inside the mic. That's really dope.
That's the biggest thing. Like, yes, the mic isn't like you're gonna get a lot better of a mic quality from a non-USB. I do I haven't looked into it enough. I don't know what kind of mic products Elgato has put out, but I was under the impression from everything that I've looked at that the mic itself is about as good as you can get out of a USB mic without like going into XLR range.
I think that from what I'm seeing and the 20 or so odd reviews that I kind of looked at across all the products and the mic specifically, it's mixed. Like there's people that are like, yes, it's really good. Other people are like,
Yeah.
I really like the Elgato one. You guys know my feeling on Elgato products. When it comes to those kind of
I'm on
things,
an Elgato mic right now. I'm on their Wave 3 right now, and I love it.
right?
But I can 100% say that if I had that software suite from Beacon, I think this mic would sound fucking phenomenal.
Well, and
Like it already sounds great,
Right.
and the software suite on the Elgato is good. It's okay. And the best part about that is that like they just barely recently within like the last month finally allowed Reaper plugins, right, for their
Right.
software. So I can actually do some of the stuff that software does natively.
Well,
Finally,
and that's
after a year.
that's what I was going to say is that the thing about it is that it's not necessarily that it's doing like aside from all the programming being done inside the mic, which is really nice because that means you could just take the mic, go to another computer, plug it in, and boom, all of
Yeah,
your settings
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's cool. But the biggest thing there is the 32 float, which is you're going to hear it. I'm not going to explain it here. You can go look at there's a fucking 1,000 people that talk about 32 float. It's like the orgasmic word that is used for everything for this mic is the 32 float, but it's the audio, it's the software. Like tweaking that software will make that mic stand out, right? Like if you just unbox it, plug it in, it's going to sound just like anything else, but it's that software behind it that really allows you to open that up. But again, like Enigma said, if you plug that software into your Yeti mic, it's going to sound fucking amazing, right? If you plug it into
I've watched it. I've watched a couple of people that have done reviews on it where they've been like, "This is the Beacon mic going through the Beacon software. Oh, and hey, by the way, this is the Shure SM7B going through that software, and it sounds amazing, right? Because it's a
Just as
fucking
good, probably.
$400.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a $400 mic.
right.
But
Yeah.
then they've got the Elgato Wave, and it sounds comparable, if not better, in my opinion, than the Beacon does. And the problem that I have with a lot of these microphone review, a lot of the microphone reviewers that are on like Twitch or not Twitch, YouTube that you watch, right? They never tell you what they have it fucking plugged into.
Right.
Right? They never say, "Oh, this is going right into my computer." It's always going into like an external like mixer or something like that, and they never tell you that.
Right. So the I don't want to spend too much time on just the mic because
Price point on it real fast.
279. It ain't cheap.
279, yeah.
279. So and there's some people bringing up some stuff in chat that I do want to address, right? And this is where I actually purchased the product and I returned it. So the one I purchased was the Mix Create.
Yeah, but you didn't get it, right?
I didn't get it. I purchased it. I then went and did some more reviews and stuff like that, because the mic went out of stock, and then but the Mix Create came back in stock. So it was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and this is where my issue lies with all of this stuff, is that I think that Beacon and TC Helicon, Elgato, Corsair, Logitech, like they're all getting in this space, and they've been in this space, and they're just like, this is the streamer mic, this is the streamer cam, this is the streamer stuff that you need because you're a streamer and you're a content creator and streamer. And it's like, okay, cool, okay, all right, I get it. Like, you put all this flashy shit, and then what happens is streamers go, oh my god, I gotta have it, right? Like, I need all of this. Like, look, we all of us did it. Like, all of us for the most part were like, oh, okay, hold on one sec. Like, this is fucking interesting. Like, let me go take a look. Once I dug into it, I'm like, all right, like, can you not just like your whole thing is the software? Like, their software on the Beacon Mix Create is crazy. I mean, it's the fact that like you are able to really do something that you can't do on a Go XLR, and unless you're going to spend, you know, $1,000 minimum and up to get a real like mixer where you can actually go in and say, cool, I want my headphones to go up here, I want chat to go down here, I want what you're going to hear, you know, on the stream to be lower, but in my ears it's higher. Like, all of that's expensive. That's what the beauty behind the Mix Create is. The problem that lies is that I've already got a $500 Shure SMB mic. I've got a $400 audio interface. I'm going to spend $200 to now have another audio interface that
essentially Sin already has the Maserati, and he's looking at buying the Mazda.
Right.
You know,
but only because I want that software. Like, it's only because of that software that I care. Yeah. And that's the bigger problem. Is like, yes, you can do it, but I have to then route my audio through, like, if I want to use an XLR mic, I have to route my audio through another interface to get to that interface to be able to just use the fucking software that literally, if you look at Harris Heller, if you look at EPOS Vox, if you look at everybody that's reviewed this thing, goes, the gem in this is the software. Like, it recognizes everything. Who gives a fuck about the cheap plastic piece of shit hardware that you're getting? So
that was my biggest thing, is just it came down to when I was looking at all of them, I'm like, okay, this is just a basic USB mic. There's nothing. The biggest thing that's like special about it is the whole processing it right there in the microphone, and that's essentially all that microphone does. That another microphone like the Elgato or you know the Yeti Pro does, right? It's all in that software. If they would just sell that fucking software, they would make millions.
Right. Like, and if they don't want to sell the software, then I think it's a huge misstep for them to not put an XLR input on that fucking thing. Like, I get the point.
Does it not have an XLR?
It doesn't.
Input?
You can no. Like, it's not. It literally on the back of it is a USB-C port. That's it.
I thought I had a big old hole. Was that the mount for the microphone stand? That was that big ass fucking hole.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it does not.
It's just a USB-C and USB 2.0.
That's it. Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So again, I have a $500 fucking mic that would essentially be pointless. It's a paperweight at this point. So it's not.
I will say though, for like somebody like Bill that's still on a Yeti, like that microphone is going to be night and day.
Oh yeah, well, for sure. I've been having audio. It took me a very long time and a few friends that have a lot better ears for mic quality to get the Yeti fine-tuned to where it is now and where I'm actually happy with it. But it's still something that I have issues with peaking. I have issues with like getting it fine-tuned to the point where my voice isn't either peaking or cutting out, depending on what I'm doing with it. So,
well, honestly though, Bill, I would say don't even get the mic, just get the fucking Mix Create. Because I think the Mix Create, you're talking $70, $80 less than the mic, and you get the software. That Mix Create comes with that EQ software. So like, you can get the mic software with the Mix Create.
Yeah, but then he's to like, I said it.
Upgrade the mic.
I said it in the podcast chat where I was like, okay, well, you plug a Yeti into that thing, it's gonna make it fucking sound like chocolatey smooth, like chocolate rain. You know, you're gonna sound amazing. Oh, yeah. But I still think that if you upgraded that microphone to the beacon microphone, you'd be a lot better off.
It would still be it would be a net gain. I could go the cheaper option, but as
For
of
$80,
right now,
like
I
it's
was
an
already in the market looking at a mic upgrade to begin with. So, and
Yeah.
this actually falls right into my like optimal budget range for me personally. I understand it's a little bit expensive for um maybe somebody starting out with content creation. I would never recommend them get something like this like starting out, but
yeah. I think in our positions, like the $80 is affordable and more. It would be a better upgrade just to go for the whole package.
I don't know. I guess to each his own. I disagree. I'd rather go with the like because I
I
think
also don't care about like having the physical knobs. That doesn't bother me too much. I
Yeah, that's the
have
same with me.
multiple
I could
monitors
really
where
give a
I
shit
can.
less.
well,
Yeah.
I don't care about that. The biggest thing that I care about is that with the mic, you're not going to get the software of the ability to have a lot more control over. Like my thing is that I guess is the $80 for just the mic worth giving up the mic to get all of the audio, the extra audio shit and control that I want. Like to me, but again, I understand like to each his own, and this is the biggest thing about the
I thought the software suite was
You
completely
still get it.
package
Yeah,
deal.
the
You-
software
no,
suite
so,
still
hold on.
comes with
You don't get-
the
nope.
different channels.
No, you do not get the software. You
Yeah, it does.
you get the mic software suite with the mic. You do not get the audio.
The mic suite comes with the channels, dude. It comes with the different channels. It's all done virtually. Having that little knob just puts it on a knob for you. That's all that does. It's still controlling that on the actual software suite.
I think the Mix Create might have a more robust, like fine-tuned software suite, but
It's the same suite.
from
There's
what I
no
understand,
difference.
is there no difference? Okay.
No, there's no difference. As far as I know, there's two different suites. I think there's like the Mix Create and the Mix Create Pro, and I think that they're. Let me check.
So I'm looking at EPOS Vox's thing, and there is 100% a difference between the Beacon mic software that you get, because it's a Beacon app and it recognizes the Beacon mic and that software, and then when you have a Mix or Mix Create, it has another software. There's 3 total softwares that are with this. There is the Beacon mic software that is the EQ, all the kind of stuff to allow you to really dig into
Equalizer, the expander gates,
Right.
and the noise suppression.
right and doing all of that.
Are those not in the
That's
other
n-
software though?
I'm
That-
pretty sure they're still in that.
That's not
software.
in that software. No, if you have the Mix Create, you get all of the software. You get the software for the mic as well as the
No,
like.
it's right here on the fucking microphone. It says it comes with powerful routing, mute anywhere, routing table combined with mute modes gives you precise control over everything with audio. The routing table expands and contracts based off of how many sources you have assigned.
that where is that coming from? Because I'm looking
That's
looking at.
on the mic page right there.
Well, then it's
It tells you both get the expand gate, you get the powerful routing, and you get the mixing stuff as well.
well. I mean, I don't know. I'm literally looking at the
And
product
the
on
software suite,
EPOS's
from what
box.
I understand, is computed on board the mic.
I don't know. All I'm saying is what I'm looking at. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm looking at EPOS's Vox's stuff, and like it literally is him showing the mic software and whatever.
I don't know where you get the other software from, because when you go to Beacon and you click on the downloads, they only
because
have one download.
the
for
app
one
recognizes
software.
what's plugged in. Like the app is recognizing, is the mic plugged in or is the Mix Create or Mix plugged in? Because like if I plug in a Mix, I'm not getting the same software that I'm getting on the Mix Create. Those are 2 completely separate software. One is dumbed down, and the other one is not. The Mix Create, you get a lot more. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand, and I'm reading the same thing you're reading on their site, but but when you go and you look at like Harris Heller's or any of the review sites on it, there is a mic software, there is a Beacon Mix Create software, and there is a Beacon Mix software. It all comes through the Beacon app, but the Beacon app recognizes which one of the 3 is plugged in, and that's the software that you get. That's why I was saying that the $80 less for the mic to get the Create to give you all of the audio interface and basically all of the software, in my opinion, is the better buy. But if you're only in the market for just a mic and you want that and you don't care about the audio interface stuff, well then yes, buy the mic. That's all I was saying. Now again,
Yep.
Nothing is gospel, but this in lies the problem with this is that if you look at like none of this is explained. Like and it's not
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there's any sites anywhere that go over this stuff, like unless you go to a YouTube channel to go and figure it out. And then you're like,
Right.
you're still looking at how many different YouTube channels that are going to set it up at 1,700 different ways. Like, I don't know. This kind of stuff, like at first I was super excited about it. And then when I went more and more into it, it just pissed me off. Like it really just
I'm still pretty excited about it. Like the biggest thing is
also
that,
very excited about it.
yeah,
I feel like you did a
again,
typical Sim
you
thing where you overanalyze
Yeah.
something until you hate it.
well,
you have the Lamborghini of fucking audio setups.
it's
Me
it's,
and Bill basically have the broke ass fucking Mazda B2200.
I'm not pissed off because I'm like, oh, I want to, you know, this is not for me, and I'm, you know, whatever, like flaunting money or flaunting cash. I'm upset because in my mind it's not clear, and this is an area where I think Beacon wants to be very clear, and they do have these guys are very passionate about it, and their software is fucking amazing. But I'm just like, guys, you're like, the way that you're explaining this stuff and the way that this is being portrayed, like it's messy and it's muddled, and it's the same issue that I have with a lot of companies when they do this stuff, especially toward content creators, because there's just so much shit out there, and it's like, I just wish they would have just dropped the software, like drop the.
That's me right there as well. Like I think that to build a little bit of reputation, because this is a relatively new company, like not even relatively. This is a new
Go
company.
XLR team,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They
are
like
from the Go XLR team.
Mhm.
Yeah, but this is a brand new company basically, right?
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
they've never released any products. Like to build up a little bit of faith, I think that they should have released that software and been like, hey, you know, if you like our software, it works better on our hardware as well. So,
I mean, I would have told you I would have spent $100 on the software. I would have dropped $100 on the
spent some money
software.
on the software, honestly. If it would have given you everything, if it gives you everything right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, I would have $100 easy for that software, and I think that's a perfect price point in my opinion. Because the Mix Create is $100, the Mix Beacon Mix is 150. So at $100 for the software, because that's the power tool, I think you're in a perfect position. And maybe they will do that. I don't know. We spent way too much more time on this than I wanted to spend, but I mean, this is.
Yeah, it's hardware for streaming. We're gonna be passionate about it.
It's important because you can go out there and spend a shit ton of money. If you were to buy the Beacon mic and the Beacon mics Create, it's $500. That's a lot of money to drop on two products that you may not need. You may desperately need. You know what I mean? Or maybe you need one or the other.
You also look at it as like, you're gonna drop $500 on that. What are you gonna drop on that for a Go XLR and all that shit, right?
Oh yeah.
Like what's your full price on that? I guarantee you it's probably more than the Mix.
Oh, I mean, you're almost at $1,000 between these two. But again, you're talking about the Go XLR, the big boy, right? And not the mini. But I mean, it just. The thing about it is that,
and time, like that's the biggest thing right there, as well as like time routing all those fucking cable. Like Scruffy can attest to that because he did it recently. Like the amount of fucking bullshit that he went through for routing fucking audio, man.
Yeah. Audio is the biggest pain in the ass when it comes to streaming. No matter what you fucking do, it's the biggest pain in the ass. And I will dump money into a product that can fix fucking VR streaming. You give me something that allows VR streaming to be a hell of a lot easier when it comes to audio and stuff, I'm sold, right?
Honestly, any program that can just streamline audio and just fucking cut the hassle in half, like I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that's Beacon. Just please, before you purchase it, which I mean, the only one that's available right now is the Beacon Mix, which don't buy that, please. Like, that is a waste of money, in my opinion. Just buy the Mix Create for $50 more, or the mic, whatever. But just do your homework. Like, please, just do your homework before you jump into it on there. So, yeah. All right. Well, moving on. We are going on to what we've been playing. And Scruffy,
Big one.
I'm gonna let you kind of take it first.
Yeah.
You've been playing. Well, so you've been playing World War 3. So I have World War 3 up. So I don't know, but you also been playing Battlefield. But I want to go back. I want to talk about both.
Both me and Scruff have been playing.
Yeah, I think that's
interesting because these games are both very similar. And so this gameplay that you're seeing currently is of World War 3, which, and we'll get to this in people's words, is the, in quotes, battlefield killer.
Battlefield killer. Yeah.
I think Battlefield's killing itself right now.
Especially, yeah, exactly. If there's that battlefield killer, it is itself. But back to World War 3, it's not the battlefield killer. It's a game. I don't know who's developed Farm 51, I think, is developing it, and it's a game that came out in 2018. It's supposed to be pretty much like Battlefield. I think it closely represents Battlefield 3. Um, it's an okay shooter at most. They took it down, I think, for like 2-something years and finally just brought it back up and are going through play tests and all sort of tests and whatnot. And it's
What is
just
this? Is this a beta right now?
this was
Yeah,
the
I
yeah
recall
the
it's beta.
open play test.
Play test then.
It just closed, I think, last weekend.
Looks hella
Um,
smooth for a play test.
that I'll give it that. Like
I mean, it's
the
been out since
actual,
Yeah, I was gonna say
2018.
it's a
like,
fucking 5-year-old game.
yeah, the actual feel of the game, like it is optimized, but there are a lot of drawbacks that really
optimize can be. It's
runs.
okay.
It runs.
Yeah.
It'll get
but-
you somewhere.
So I'll just get into like the bulk of
You're
things.
clapping cheeks here, though.
I was. I mean, it feels all right. It feels good. You know, the gunplay. I like the gunplay in it. The biggest drawback, and I'm just gonna say it right now, is definitely the sound. Dude, the sound in this
100%.
game is 100%
Bad sound
shit
in a
tier.
tactical shooter. What?
I had
Holy
some, I don't know. Did you didn't have any issues with it really? Did you other than some like weird glitching?
Issues. No, I had tons of issues. Just like
Did
straight
you-
up, like guns stopped making noise, especially
Yeah.
vehicle guns stopped making
one-
noise. So I'm just getting
The one that fucked me up so bad was I literally shit stopped. There was no noise other than bullet impacts. So you would hear the little right,
Exactly. That
and then
happened
I could hear like distant wheel treads, and that's it. I
So,
couldn't hear anything else.
Just so everybody knows, the audio issue for this game has been going on since its existence.
Since it's
Actually,
original
so
release.
I will say something, and that's sort of right, but also sort of not. Their audio back when they first released, and it's stated many people say like it was a lot better than this, and it's something that they did when taking it down and bringing it back up. They revamped it and just fucked it like so hard,
They
dude.
demake their audio.
I don't know how they took actually decent audio and just threw it into the ground. Like, bro, I don't understand. That's the biggest problem with this game. I'll give it props for some other stuff. Like the gun, there's 22 guns in total, which is more than Battlefield 2042, I believe. I think that game only has like something in the teens. The map design is actually really good. This map you're seeing right now currently is okay. I enjoy other maps a lot more, and that's one thing I'll definitely say they improved on. Compared to Battlefield 2042, at least the maps are a lot better. They're actually, I think, more tactical. They're not just
Or smaller
and fields. They're smaller.
It's a
too.
lot smaller. That was one of the biggest issues, or one of the biggest problems that I foresaw with Battlefield 2042 was just how big their maps were.
Yeah.
It just feels like a walking simulator for half the time you're in the fucking 9/10 of your fucking time spent.
Bigger games. Do you know how big games
in
are in
there.
this? 64 versus 64, I think. Or
Yeah,
no,
it's
no, I mean
64, 64.
32.
It is. No, it's 64,
Oh,
64.
it is.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm pretty
think it's
sure. Yeah, I'm
30
pretty sure it's 64, 64.
I was gonna say I think it's 30-30, but the core gameplay of this, at least the mode I'm playing, they have more modes than Battlefield. If you exclude Portal, this is pretty much essentially the conquest in Battlefield 2042. It's secure points. The more points you have, the more points you get, and you just build your points up to get to 5K to win. Then they have other game modes like Team Deathmatch. I think I saw some sort of like free for all game modes and some other stuff like that. But the main one I played was this conquest type mode, and it works
right.
good.
You're right. It's 64 v 64.
32
That's good.
versus 32.
It's 64
Yeah.
players.
What's the
total.
hit
Yeah, so
registration
32.
like?
The hit reg isn't bad. It's
Is
just
there any
it throws
desync
you
or
off.
anything like that? Dying around corners, any of that shit?
Yeah, there's a bit
Yeah,
of
tons.
the tick rate isn't.
I got
yeah,
multiple times where I was behind a fucking wall or behind a box or something, and I'd still get fucking hit. It was
that's just chalks up to the tick rate not being the best. But
either the tick rate or the latency of the server.
yeah, the actual hit reg isn't bad though. I think a majority of the problems when you're not actually hitting enemies or getting kills is the actual guns. I've noticed some guns work really well, some just don't.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like something to do with the recoil and the actual gunplay of them. Some work, some don't.
Seemed to like a lot of people were using the M4A1 with that like side tilt scope, the like side tilt red dot, and
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was like the go-to meta.
You're
yeah.
trash, my
Seems like
guy.
it.
The worst part about that gun is like literally it's got the ACOG scope and then the side tilt red dot, but there's no way to use the side tilt red dot.
Right. Wait, wait, that's when I was wondering because I couldn't
Yeah.
find the setting to change.
There's no setting to change scopes. So there's
Yeah.
So
there's
it's
no
just
way to change
cosmetic.
that
You
red
literally
dot.
have
It's
a
just
cosmetic.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
way to go.
As far as I could tell, at least I didn't look in the settings deep enough. I got kind of pissed at it because I was like, "Fuck this game! It's ridiculous." But
Yeah, because that's one thing I was actually gonna give props to the game for was the game actually, now excluding that setting, has a lot of other good settings, including a lean system, which I wish Battlefield would have. Also, an alt look system where you can actually pan your head. It has good settings like that, and the attachments and weapon customization is actually really nice too. I will give them props for that. Like they've got a lot of
on
attachments, whether they work or not. Like that site.
the downside to the attachment system is that I've heard that it's extremely grindy. It's like more grindy than
That
2042.
was one of my that was one of my cons on my cons list. Like the grind of this game is the leveling is really slow, especially the weapon leveling isn't as slow as like just basic level progression, but it's still a lot grindier than Battlefield 2042.
And that's saying
So
something because 2042 I feel is grindy as shit.
Seems
yeah,
like
a
they
bit
take a lot of
grindy.
the best parts from like Call of Duty and Battlefield, and they're trying to integrate that all together.
Trying,
Yeah,
yeah,
they're trying to. Speaking of Call of Duty, they even have kill streaks, which I
they
don't
do,
really feel
yeah,
like they fit. They're like Walmart brand kill streaks in Call of
yeah,
Duty.
like UEV. It's and they've
You
got
can't have anything too
a mortar
impactful
drop.
in like a large scale like 64. I feel like anything too like
I mean,
anything
they've got
too heavy.
airstrikes. They've got like
Airstrikes, yeah.
the UI guided missile that you like go into the camera and like guide it down, and that shit just didn't work for me.
They've got
Drones,
Blackhawks, the helicopters that
yeah.
you can fly around.
Little
So
like they have like a little like C4 drone that you can drive, and
that
it
drone is actually dope as shit, dude. I was driving that. That was one thing that I actually enjoyed. I was like, this is fucking dope, man.
I didn't have a great I only tried it like once, but it got shot out of like the sky immediately, like
Yeah.
because I felt like it was really slow. But I don't know.
No, I'm
It's
not talking about the aerial one. I'm talking about the ground drone. The
yeah, no,
little
that's the one I'm
Like the
talking
the one
Call of
about.
you're
Duty
talking about. Gotcha.
Vanguard like mini tank.
Kinda, yeah.
I know, but it's in the air.
Do they
and
have
it explodes.
one question I have about the vehicles? Because I heard when looking into this game is whether or not it was something that I wanted to play. I heard the vehicles are completely and utterly just ridiculously overpowered, and it's almost
They
impossible to
are.
kill them.
Yeah.
That, that's another thing I was going to get to is like as far as I know, it's only ground vehicles, the tanks and other like heavy artillery vehicles are very OP.
It's a lot of
Especially when the
missiles to
sound
kill
doesn't
'em.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a silent
And
tank. That's
they
definitely a problem.
they will kill you in like 2 or 3 shots, and it's an AoE fire as well on most of them. So like they don't even have to aim at you; they just have to aim in your general
It's
direction.
like the bolt from 2042 with a
Yeah,
30 millimeter. Like this one it just like almost insta kills you.
just decimates.
So that's another big thing.
The sad thing about
As
this
well.
is I don't
Mhm.
think that I want to be like, cool, maybe the game will get better, but I'm like, how much more time do you need to get better? You've had since
After 5 years.
2018. Like,
Yeah.
um, okay.
Yeah. Man, I don't know. It's
For a free to
something.
play game, I think it's
I
it's
was
gonna
gonna
be an
say
okay,
it's I
okay
think
experience.
$15 right now, but when it drops, it will go free to
It will
play.
go free to play, yeah.
So I
Huh.
guess at that
But
point it'll be worth it because it's fucking free to play. But until then, I don't know. I wouldn't really drop the
you
money
get
on it.
real question here. Do you think Battlefield's a little afraid of this or no?
I think Battlefield is too
I
worried
don't know.
about what's going on with Battlefield.
Yeah,
I
you
was gonna
think?
say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Scruff, you've been playing Battlefield. I was playing Battlefield, obviously, now since the 8th. I have stopped, but I mean, we got to talk about it. Like, Battlefield is in, like, me.
Bro, I've lost my faith.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Scruffy
We held
are.
out, but I don't know, man. The decisions they're making, including the delay, which I know you've stated or you've said, it's a good decision. I agree and I disagree. Like this delay for season one, there needed to be it needed to be shorter, or it needed to be some sort of balance where they actually give us some content in between this delay and also prioritize bug fixing. Honestly, I think if they would have released season one at the stated time, people would have came back and they would have probably dealt with the bugs while are being fixed. I think at this point they've lost a majority, if not,
They lost
all
more
of
than the
their
majority. I mean, it's
time.
almost gone. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
they've
the
lost a
last
lot.
I think the last time I checked, I think it was down to like 32,000 players, and that was before the announcement of them pushing. So I have a feeling it's probably less than that now.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Here, like the reason I say it's a good move to have pushed the content back is because like people are screaming and screaming. Like if they would have pushed that out, I mean, it's a no-win situation. Like if you go to the
It's not a
timeline,
good look to push out content that's be a paid content rather than actually working on the game.
like
Yeah.
and the big issue here is that it's everything. It's the time that they released, right? They released right before holidays, which means that you had like, unless your game is pretty much almost not perfect, but like in a very, very, very good state, you got holiday break coming. You can't force your workers to stay there and fucking bug test and play, and which again,
I mean,
the
it's
game,
EA. They can do that.
Well-
They can do that.
but realistically, they can't.
Yeah,
Like you're
I
gonna
mean-
have holiday, like,
Yeah,
and
and that's one thing I said. It's like their actual release date was shit. I don't think they should have just waited for the new year.
they should have
in
pushed
all
the
honesty.
game. I think they should have pushed
Yeah.
the game back
Should've put it
again.
in
They had to get
February.
in for those. Yeah, they had to get
All the
in for
hot
those,
games
those
launch in
holiday
February.
sales,
Yeah, right.
you know?
Like, but they should have pushed, like, at its core. I love Battlefield. I love Battlefield 2042. Me and Scruffy have dumped close to probably 1,000 hours together into that game. I still have a love for Battlefield, and I will remind you that the arc of Battlefield is always this, that it comes out fucked up and fucking pointless until you get to about the second DLC, and then everyone's like, oh my fucking god, this is amazing, and they all come rushing back. Go look at Battlefield 3, go look at Battlefield 4. They still have fucking lobbies being played like that. So
Doesn't make it right, though.
I'm not saying it makes it right. What I'm just saying is that there is a history of this, and to say when people are like, Battlefield it's gonna die. I'm like, you guys are fucking stupid. It's not gonna die. It's going to come back. It's how it always does. And it doesn't make it right. Like, but at the same time, I guarantee you in 6 months, people will be playing Battlefield. Will it be 100,000 people or 200,000 or what? No. But will it be a large group of people? Yes. Will it have lobbies? Yes. Like, and right now there's they're in a lot of water. Like there's a class action lawsuit that is trying to be filed because there's a petition with over 100,000 people signing it saying that they want a refund globally across the board. I disagree with it. I did not sign that petition. I will not sign that petition. I don't support that petition. I think that,
I'm gonna sign it.
do what?
I'm gonna sign it.
We'll sign it. I mean, go ahead. That's your right to sign it.
I think
But-
with what you said, like people, whether it's right or wrong, knew what they were getting into. Like,
Right. But
you know,
I only kid. I actually enjoyed 2042. I'm just not a very big shooter player. You know how it goes.
I mean, the thing about it is that you bought a game that is functioning.
Yeah.
It worked. The game functions.
That's
It
the whole thing
works.
is, like the biggest thing with Battlefield 2042 is that it got a lot of flack on release because certain content creators didn't like how it released, right? And so because they didn't like how it released,
they
that
didn't
then
like how they didn't. Let's be real. The content creators and everybody, they didn't like the whole revamp of the system. And
Oh,
that's really what it all came down to. Everyone's mad that they changed Battlefield and the core class system, and they're using every other reason to dog it
Yeah.
out pretty much.
I mean,
Go ahead, Bill.
so my mindset on it is if that was the only issue with the game, then these people would just be bitching for the sake of bitching. It's just an unfortunate circumstance that overlapped with people not being thrilled about the operator system, that it also came out fairly bug heavy.
But
on
it's
top of it.
but it's
It
not
really
that
really didn't though. That's
like
that's the whole thing. Like it really didn't come out bug heavy in comparison to like some of the other releases for that year.
well,
It had bugs, like,
in
sure, but
comparison
like
to
They
it
had
weren't. It,
bugs.
it never stopped me, Sin, or
Yeah,
anyone really from actually playing the game. Like,
exactly.
like the issue that I have when they talk about the operator system, they knew that the operator system was there from the fucking get-go. They talked
Yeah, it
about
was
it.
never a secret.
It was in the demo, it was in the betas, it was everywhere over the promotion. It was fucking everywhere. Like, so you have no room to argue. You have no, not you, Bill, but I'm just saying the all of these reviews, all this stuff. This is my issue with all of this stuff. Like you, and this is the same thing that I had a problem with WildStar when all of these fucking content creators got on there. They bashed the shit out of WildStar, and then it took a huge turn. Like, I'm sorry, but and I know we are all content creators. You are listening to a content creator podcast, but guess what,
Do you
guys?
think-
Content creators don't know
Do you
everything.
think group-think is that strong that it'll actually like just
Absolutely.
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 At this point, at this day and age, and when it comes to gaming, you've said it yourself, Bill, on several occasions that people will go and make up their minds on a game just based off of somebody's review of it, and we shouldn't be doing that.
The mob
I have
mentality
said that,
is
you're right.
crazy. Like, and that's why influencers and gaming companies tap into influencers, because they're going like, because they're
Exactly. They're trying to do
influencers.
that groupthink, yeah.
Like they are trying to influence you to buy something. It's the same thing we just saw.
I'll also point out that a lot of times they're also pushing for, like, when their stuff does come out and it is buggy and it is shitty, they're pushing for that whole almost the rage clicks, right? They're trying to get those rage clicks for it too these days.
like,
It's
especially
like
with
in
all the
any kind
journalists.
of news.
oh, absolutely.
Any kind of
Journalists.
news these days is good news, regardless of the good or bad of it.
They're just milking it. Like,
Right.
that's all they're doing.
And that's the same thing that I have an issue with. And you hit the nail on the head, Scruff, when you said the news picked it up. In my mind, why is there fucking news about a game getting bad reviews? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, because all that you're doing there is just continuously to push a negative, narrative. And so what does that do? Now it becomes like it's popular. It's the zeitgeist. I want to bash the shit as much as I possibly can. I want to
Yeah.
I got FOMO because I didn't get to put my fucking review in. Like, and if you go and read the reviews, majority of the fucking reviews are all things that are, again, were known about this game. I don't like the fact that there's no scoreboard. So you're gonna give the game a negative review because you don't like the fact that there's a scoreboard, like, or a better scoreboard, like.
That is a valid complaint though. Like, it doesn't have a very.
I don't think it's a
They're all
valid
valid
complaint to give it a
complaints.
fucking negative
It's the
review.
journalists and everything blowing all these points out of proportion.
Right. Like, I truly feel like, and it takes a lot for me to feel bad for, especially a big company like EA, but I truly feel bad in this situation for Criterion, for DICE, and for EA, because I think that they are unfairly getting blasted because it is this cancel culture bullshit of let's get on a bandwagon, let's fucking flame, or whatever else, because, and this I hope they don't buckle for the refund, man. Fuck all y'all. Y'all paid for the game. You knew what the game was. The game works. It functions.
Well, you already know they're not gonna
like,
that class action lawsuit's not gonna.
You can take your petition and shove it in your ass.
There's no way that anybody, depending on how much time they put in, there's no way that they're gonna get a class action lawsuit to go with that, because they've obviously put the time into it. If you if it was somebody like me that's put in like 30-40 hours into it, they're gonna be like, you put 30-40 hours into it, dude. Fuck off.
You played it. You must have enjoyed something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you know what I cannot wait for, and you know how when this game came out, everybody swamped back to like Battlefield 5 and 1. When the next Battlefield or whatever big title from DICE EA comes out, they're all gonna come back to me like, oh wow, 2042 wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no shit.
No fucking shit.
Yeah, I know. No, go ahead. Hey,
And I will also say that I think that, and don't take it as a defensive, I do think that in some cases you have some fanboy glasses on.
No,
a little bit.
I'm not gonna say that I'm not looking through
Because
rose-colored
there are
glasses.
definitely some
They're very big ass.
bad
There's
issues
some
about the
huge
game.
flaws in the game. I mean, I'm not saying that the game is perfect, like, far from it, but I look at it from a perspective of other Battlefield games.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I agree with you on that point. It's stupid.
Playable. Like,
it's stupid that people thought that it would come out and not be fucking broken. Because every fucking Battlefield has come out broken, but that's not something that we should be it's exactly like Bethesda, right? We should not be accepting that. We should not be approving of that, because then we get Fallout 76. We get,
Right.
So
we
I'm
get
still
those
defending
titles.
it right now. Even though like I am a little fed up with it though. Like I'm on
Absolutely.
both sides right now. I am fed up with some of their decision making as of lately. But at the same time, I don't think again, all of the hate since the beginning has been warranted.
No,
Like
it's not on my PC.
so-
I uninstalled it. I don't have it on my computer anymore.
well,
So
nothing's on your PC, Sin, except Lost
that's
Ark.
you're
So,
damn fucking right. And that and Vampire Survivors, we're gonna talk about that.
right?
But anyway,
man.
hey man, flood to World War III. Go play this game and fucking flame about this and why this is,
Yeah.
great or
No,
not. Great or
the
whatever.
thing is, they'll give this fucking standing ovations. I
That's what
guarantee
they're
you.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to spite
That's
Battlefield. Like,
that's what pisses me off, and we
that's
talked
why
about
they're
this
saying it's the
before.
Battlefield killer. Like that's
we talked we
literally why
talked
all they're
we
saying.
talked about this when I picked this game up, or when I picked this up to play it, Scruffy. That like some of the content creators that I have trusted in the past, with like wholeheartedly, like um Ranger Dave and everything like that, like he's giving that game outstanding ovations. And he's like, this game is amazing. It's the next best thing since sliced bread. I'd fuck it if I could, He's giving it like straight up like the best reviews he possible. And I'm looking at him like, dude, like I can't trust you anymore if that's the case, because that game is terrible, man. Like that is not
They
Battlefield
get to
kill.
say that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I doubt it. I don't know,
Well,
man.
let's talk about what is going to be the Elden Ring killer. Bill, talk to me about this glorious, absolute treasure of a fucking game that I hope is, well, at least I hope it's a treasure of a game. I can't even believe this exists. The fucking
I love it.
Bloodborne PlayStation D-make.
Remake.
That's right, D-make.
Yes, it is. So for anybody unaware, there is a fan group that loved Bloodborne so much and was so unhappy that there wasn't a PC port of Bloodborne in the market yet, that they went and they, from the ground up, made a PS1 version of Bloodborne, at least up to the first two bosses. So it's got about 4 hours worth of content in it right now. It goes up to Father Gascoigne, and it has Cleric Beast as well. But it is ridiculously faithful to PS1 like stylings, to the point where it's almost a detriment in some ways. I guess
played a bit of it.
maybe just being used to modern controlling and stuff. So PS1 faithful to a fault, where like your shoulder buttons are what controls like your camera left and right
Oof.
hand. Your joysticks don't do that.
Oof. Wow.
To be able to trick your weapon, you can't trick weapons like during combat. You have to go into a menu and swap it to a tricked form. So each weapon,
I didn't even know how to do it, honestly.
yeah. So if you go into your weapon in your menu and hit L1, it will trick it out. It basically, each weapon functions as two weapons, so you can like
That's
figure
funny.
out which one you want to go with, but you don't have that like quick swapping. There is still parrying, there is still backstabs. All of like your Bloodborne mechanics are still there. They're just PS1.
But you know
And
real quick, you know what's you talk about how it to a faithful to a fault, but just like did you grow up playing a PS1? Have you grown up?
oh yeah,
Wait,
I've
so-
been PlayStation since day one.
Yes, so
So-
this is like this just shows you how like everyone's like, oh, and again I'm gonna get the okay boomer, but like legitimately games were fucking hard back then, man. It's not because the game was fucking hard.
You saw me get one shot by the first guy with the torch, just
Yeah.
like instantly one shot.
Sorry, continue.
It's no, it's really good. So it has all of the Bloodborne charm to it. It's really, really well done mechanically. I wouldn't change a single aspect of how they went about like the combat and such. They also went as far as, so while yes, all the areas in the intersection with Yharnam and stuff are faithful to the areas, they did change up a little bit of like the scenic elements to it, and they did add their own unique areas. So they expanded out the sewer area to have a poison sewer area.
Nice.
They they expanded one of the, so it's an alleyway that leads into a 2-story house in the base game. They actually expanded that 2-story house to have like a full archives basement section that you can explore down through. There's a lot of really, really neat stuff and just a lot of love
It's free too,
put
right?
into this demake. And
Yeah,
it's free.
it's free.
Yeah, you can go just type in Bloodborne
It
PSX
runs on its
into
own
Google.
emulator too.
Yeah, you don't need to download the PSX emulator. It has its own emulator like integrated in.
I love
So
this,
you
man.
literally just got to go Bloodborne PSX, Google it. It'll be like the first or second link that you see, and you're good to go. And it runs perfectly smooth. Controls wise, it's a little bit funky on what it accepts natively, but there are a few workarounds that you can use if you don't want to use mouse and keyboard, because I have no clue how it would actually work mouse and keyboard. I'm assuming it would be WASD and then Q and E's would be your camera rotate instead of like the mouse. I don't think that it actually supports mouse control at all. I think it's all
It's all keyboard.
it's all keyboard
I
control.
also heard that there's a workaround in case you were wanting to use a PlayStation controller, because I think
Yeah.
it
Yeah, I
natively supports Xbox, but it doesn't PlayStation.
That's kind
Yeah, and I
Wait,
posted a
what?
video
How?
on my channel about you can get it to you can set it up to run through Steam, and whatever controllers Steam supports, the game will support. And you don't have to download like what is it,
Pretty sure that's
the
just
PS
any emulators.
yeah,
so
you don't
funny
have
to
to
me, though.
download like PS4 like controller software. If you just set it up through Steam, you can play it easy peasy lemon
That's
squeezy.
so funny to me though.
It's awesome.
Natively next. I love this. This is amazing. I fully support it, and they have a donation, I think, too, right? You can help support them, like,
Yeah, because the project is still going. I think, as far as I'm aware, they have full intentions on completely remaking the game.
like that's
So
I
I don't know
think they
how
had
long.
donations going.
I don't know how long they've been working on this segment itself, but they have full intentions on remaking the game, I believe.
I mean,
They have donations up and Sony's not smacking them.
What I was wondering,
I mean, maybe
because I
they
know they're
don't, I
not
don't know.
getting chased down by Sony, but I thought if they would bring donations up, they definitely would.
I was under the impression that donations work differently than actually charging for the product.
Yeah, because I think you can still, because you're technically donating to the time. You're not donating to buy the product, so Sony can't really, like, it would be a sticky situation for them to take that to
Yeah,
court.
that's what they tried to pull on the whole what's it called, Fallout mods, and they got in trouble for that too.
The
So,
the mod community got in trouble, or
Yeah.
Fallout got in trouble.
yeah, mod community got in trouble. That's why there's yeah.
Oh, well, in any case, I mean, I think this is amazing. And they have like a lot of, I think I saw like a lot of video options too, where you can change it to be like CRT or like fucking scan, like old Scantron, like look,
A lot
right?
of things.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
All of, and they also have the cheats engine in it, like the cheat codes, like old
awesome.
school,
Game Shark.
like PS1
Yeah.
style, like big head mode shit like
That
that,
is
where
fucking
you can
great.
go in.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't say that.
Yeah,
Oh my
man.
God, this is-
I
it's
honestly-
really well
remember-
done.
I remember that the old Game Shark shit, man, where you had to actually go and like get a a cartridge or whatever the Game
Oh yeah,
Shark.
then you had to print. You had to go online, or like find the fucking codes and get the books. Yeah, trust me, I remember it too. Yeah,
Through
There's
like E4
apparently
magazines.
a pet dog mode where you can have a dog companion with you.
That's
It's one of
awesome.
the,
That's
the
cool.
cheats.
I thought you meant like petting the, because you can pet the dog in this game too. 10 out of 10.
Dude,
Can you really?
I
can.
That's neat.
I really need to take a break. Well, I'm not going to, but at some point in time, I need to play this. This is just amazing. This is what I love about the like, we talk about Battlefield, we talk about World War III, we have the bad shit, and then you have something like this that comes out and that's just out there, and I don't know, man. This makes my heart
guys a
fucking
question?
just sore.
What games now, like nowadays games, would you want to see demade?
D-Man,
there's
I
any
would love
others.
to see a
Battlefield 2042.
They aren't already doing that.
no, I would like to see a honestly, I would like to see a demake of like a Devil May Cry game. I feel like a Devil May Cry game would really fit that, like, or like some like modern Castlevania games, like stuff that existed back in that era to just kind of take you back.
Yeah.
I think it would be pretty cool.
I would like to see an old Hitman game, like or like the Hitman series demade, because again, I think that there's a lot of like cool. options that those games give you in that open world setting, but then bringing it into like this kind of style, I think it would work. And things I would love to see that. Ghost Recon, I'd like to see the Ghost Recon games demade as well.
I think that would be cool. That would almost, I feel like, be like maybe like a SOCOM kind of, or like Medal of Honor type demake.
Yeah. So
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be. I love this. This is fucking great. Like, I'm all about it.
Also, I am looking it up now. They do not have a donation page anywhere. This is just purely independent. So,
But that's what I figured.
smart.
Yeah.
even better on them, man. That's crazy. So, well, there you go. The fucking Bloodborne demake, man. It's on PC.
dude,
There you go.
it's way too good. It's way better than it should be.
Yeah.
Honestly, like a lot of love was put into this product to make sure that it was as quality as possible.
That's
So
awesome.
props to them.
That is awesome. Okay, well, moving on. We're gonna talk about another game that is, you know, we're not gonna get fancy with it. We're just gonna stay in the old era for a minute. Vampire Survivors, boys and girls. This is the best $3 game you can fucking purchase on Steam. This game is WASD, and the that's it. That's the whole movement. That's all you do is literally it's just survive. It is the concept here is essentially instead of there being a bullet hell of like just shit coming at you on screen that is like projectiles and things you have to dodge, you essentially are the ones that are sending out all of the shit, and the enemies are just constantly attracting to you. And Enigma, what do we say? This game legitimately probably was developed over like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, 2 months. It cannot be a super, like, it's not very hard to develop. And the guy has probably made hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I'm sure that it wasn't like 2 weeks. I'm sure it took him a couple months. But yeah, no, this kind of game does not take a ton to make, right? It's just sprites moving and then sprites and a basic AI.
There's a lot of content.
Yeah,
there's a
it's
shit
just
ton of
sprites
content.
moving in a basic AI that's been modeled up to basically move towards the player sprite at any cost, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and this is it. This is like essentially all you do is you just run around and you survive and you level up, and there's different builds, and it's you know, you're collecting these crystals that are going to level your character up, and then they have like floor chicken that is basically just going to give you HP. You get things like the Holy Bible that will spawn around you. What's that aura that's around me right now is garlic, and it becomes bigger and bigger as more you pick up, and there's upgrades and there's new characters, and you get currency and gold for the longer that you play and you pick up, that you can then use to upgrade your character to go back in to try, and it's kind of has that roguelike element to it. It's just, I don't, dude, I was like, $3, fuck it, I'm just gonna try it. I'm not kidding you. I sat there for the very first like day that I played it for 6.5 hours. Like 6.5 hours just sitting there, like doing this or whatever. It's nuts.
This
man.
has some like Risk of Rain 1 style vibes to it. Like not the 2D side scroller, but just like the mentality that the game puts you in.
Yeah, and it's very relaxing. Like for whatever like it's just very soothing. You get in there, the chiptune music that's in there is amazing. Like it hits on all those serotonin things that you want, like the old school graphics, the music, like whenever you level up, all the fucking gems are like popping and shit's coming. Like it just, I don't know, man. Like it fucking works, and it's $3 fucking. Like, and you die, and you're like, I just gotta go back in. I just need to go back in, like, and retry it. I can do better. I can get a different build and try something new. Yeah.
In my mind, this is like if you took Ghosts and Goblins and made it into like a roguelite.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I mean, and there's different stages. Like there's this stage, there's a library stage, there's a desert stage, but like all these different, again, like abilities that you can get, and as you get more, you'll level them up, and there's things that'll like make it so you can you can get hit without like taking damage right off the bat, and you can level that up to give you like 2 shields, like it, and it becomes like crazy. Like there, like right now it seems pretty easy. I'm on, I think like I'm like level 12, and it seems pretty simple, but it gets fucking serious quick. So it's a blast. It's $2.99, like literally. it's worth the fucking
I
money.
think I think we I think we did the math, and I think this guy's made like 100,000 just off
More now,
of
like
yeah,
easily,
probably
like
more
it's
now,
crazy.
yeah, easily.
Yeah.
But when we did the math, at least it was like 100,000 at the very least. Like if you take in concurrent player base, and that's just taking in what was playing at that point. So the
I'm
people that
really I'm
we
really
hadn't
surprised it's
even
not on a
gotten the
phone.
sales numbers off of it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised it's not on a phone, to be honest. Like this would be a phone game in my opinion, easy.
Yeah.
You know, but uh yeah.
I doubt it comes to phones with the money this guy's made now.
Yeah. So Vampire Survivors, it's fucking phenomenal. Check it out. All right. Can we get a drum roll? Well, I guess technically we don't know because the game still could technically not come out. It could be canceled in the
Yeah,
next
I'm canceling it. I
like
already told
next
you
like
it's done.
15 minutes, 23 minutes. Boys and girls, Lost Ark has arrived in the West. It is out. And it is the fucking most glorious thing I have ever put my hands on an MMO in a long time.
We'll
good.
see
Playing
what
it
you
right
say
now.
in 2 months.
Yeah, like
I have a feeling New World situation. Calling it now.
you guys say, "Wow!" I just like
I
okay.
think it'll be as
No,
drastic.
not with the game. I think the game's going to be fine. I just think you're going to get burned out.
You think I'm gonna get
Move
burnt
on.
out? Okay, broski. We'll see. Maybe
We'll see.
we'll see. But the thing that stopped me in the Russian version and the Korean. Well, I never played the Korean version, but the Russian version is because I did not like it. Just to me, it was pointless. Like because you guys weren't gonna come play with me. I had no one else, and it's also in fucking Russian, so I can't really understand everything that's going on, and the nuances of it. But like this game has got a lot of shit, a lot of stuff. I mean, I could spend 2.5 hours gushing about this game, you know, on my own. But I mean, anyway, you've been harping on this game that's not coming out, but I want to hear it come out of your dirty whore little mouth that you enjoy this game and you like it.
It's still not coming out.
Say it until
I'm
20 minutes.
gonna cancel it. Yeah, I'm the owner of Amazon. I'm actually Jeff
God.
Bezos. The other guy is a body double. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I'm canceling it. No, it's good, man. I've said from the start, and I told you over and over again that I'm excited for it. I was
Not
excited
on
for
air,
it, and I
you
was looking
haven't.
forward to it. Not on air, but
It's
you
on
know.
air. Yes, we gotta bash you. We gotta,
Exactly. I've got to be an asshole because I hate you.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how it goes.
That's it.
But no, I've been looking forward to it. It's a good game. It's extremely good. I'm actually getting like really heavy BDO vibes out of it. Like when I first started playing BDO, and that's a good thing because I enjoyed BDO like thoroughly. I'm actually further ahead than Sin is because I have more time, obviously. But you know, and I'm loving it so far. Like it's a great game. Like very glad that it's coming out. Not as much that it's coming out from Amazon because they're already showing their incompetency. But you know,
Yeah, but I think
we'll see what happens.
I think Smilegate is putting in the pressure to make sure that they're like, we'll take this shit somewhere else, man. Like,
Yeah.
Because if you look at a lot of the stuff that is going on, like because this game had server issues right off the bat, right? Like, no shit.
Yeah.
It's which again, like Enigma said, the
The
incompetence.
launch compared to other games, the launch has been pretty good
my
though.
God.
Or the
It has, man.
pre-launch
Like-
because we'll see Friday. Really, that's
We'll see
like
tomorrow. Yeah.
I'd say.
So the biggest thing with this one is and I quote me if I'm incorrect if you guys know these numbers better than I do, but if I remember correctly, they had 346,000 slots, like 346,000 server, like the ability for 346,000 people to be on all the servers globally, right?
Correct.
They have since sold 1.5 million copies of the pre-order. And that's just the pre-order. That's not the free-to-play version. So if we can expect 1.5 million from just the pre-order, the early access, what are we going to expect from the free-to-play is my biggest question. Like they're going to get hit fucking hard, dude.
They are.
Like,
I know
hard.
a lot of people who are holding out for the free to play, and I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah.
In a lot of players.
Here's what I am impressed about how they're handling this. some people will probably maybe look at this as a negative. I think it is a positive in a way to be able to manage this shit in a until Amazon can get their stuff together. Is basically they're going, hey, as it stands right now, like we're on Una, right? Una, there are 4 servers or 5 servers on the East Coast that are hit the heaviest. Avesta, Regulus, Una, Galator. I think
yeah.
Galator was one of them. They basically said you cannot create another character. Like you cannot create a new person could not sign on and create a new character. So for all the free to play people coming in, will not be able to create a character on that server as of right now. That is not the end all solution, but they will not make it so that you can go and create a new server or create a new character on that server right now. The bad side of that is that if there are people like in our group that wants to play that just didn't want to put $15 down to go play the game, completely understand. Well, you're fucked right now as far as for playing with on Una to join our guild. Now we can still do dungeons.
We had people today, just today, like Jaza, Denzelbane, one of the viewers that we have in our community. Like he contacted me and was like, "Hey, should I get this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude. Like you really, if you want to play on our server, it's going to cost you $15. Like you need to do it now because they're putting that ban in like soon."
Now, the rumors that have come out is that basically this is a temporary fix until again they can figure out like what to be able to manage it, because what that does is basically says, hey, queue times, instead of going and saying fuck it, flood it, make as many as you want, go in there and do whatever. Una is now at a 50,000 person queue. It goes and says, hey, you're at a 6,000 queue.
You're at a 2,000.
Right, 2,000 queue.
At most, you know.
Now, if you already have a character there, you can create multiple characters on that server. You just new people cannot go and join Una as it stands. Now, like I said, the rumor is that they are going to allow for character transfers and server mergers, because if you go to the Russian version, there are 2 servers on the Russian version. Now, I don't know if it's going to get down to that here, but there are 2 servers, and they did that same thing here where they merged them together slowly but surely to go, you are all now on these 2 servers. And you know, I think they've handled it, man. I've like my login queue was 6,000. It took me less than an hour to get in. I know some people have had like a little bit longer, but dude,
I think I was in queue the first night. I think I was in queue for about an hour and a half.
Yeah,
it's like 5,000-6,000.
Still went by in at least like I'd say 40 minutes.
So I don't know, but just in general, the game itself, like from an MMO standpoint, if there is something that you want, this game really does have it. I mean, it's got the fucking like dungeon raids. It's got, you know, a Monster Hunter like style thing. It's got a damn roguelike tower system. It's got sailing. It's got social, the trade skill aspects, lifestyle. It's got housing.
A dating sim.
Fucking crazy. It's got dating sims. It's got
Sim loves his dating sims.
I mean, I do enjoy it. Like there's literally nothing about this game. And again, I'll tell you, I'm fanboying. Like I'm absolutely fanboying. Like there are some issues that I see with certain things when it's the learning curve on some of this stuff is fucking straight up and down. Like, and you have to go do your research to be like, okay, cool. What is faceting and how does engraving work? Because they don't explain it very well in the game. But
that is one thing that I will.
There isn't great explanations for.
Yeah, that is one thing that I'll throw them under the bus a little bit for, and I chalk it down to it's a Korean, it's an Eastern MMO. Right. They just that's just what they do. But like they really don't explain things very well when it comes to like faceting and like the upgrade systems and everything like that.
Well, that, and then if you even go to like your tripod stuff, which again, we're not getting into the nuances of it, but like tripod is just upgrading your skills. Like one of the skills will be like, after rapid fire gain 20% crit, and you're like, what the fuck is rapid fire? Like it doesn't explain what that and what it is. So like you have to do research. So that is bad, but like all in all, man, this fucking game is just good. Like it feels good. It plays good. The PvP is amazing. I don't know, man. Like if you've been looking for an MMO, if you're tired of fucking Final Fantasy and WoW, 15, it's free. Come play it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
No reason not to try it.
I'm in fucking love. And like if you want to see how a game developer like Yoshi P or creative developer like Yoshi P, if you didn't think there was anybody else out there like that, go watch Gold River. Go watch the director's trailer for this game in some of the director interviews and how passionate he is about this game, and talks about what like his love for this community and things like that. And keep in mind this game launched, in 2018.
16.
Is it 16? Is that when
That was 16.
I know it released in Korea a while ago. It was not in a very good state. It was in a very, very, very rough state.
Okay, so closed beta was in 2016, so it came out shortly after.
Okay. Sure. But it has gotten to a point now where they have, it's a love letter to Diablo fans. It's a love letter to fucking MMO fans. I mean, the game fucking works, man, and it's good. It's just fucking good.
That's a good thing about having a game that's native to one region being ported to another too, is it doesn't have like the growing pains that a fresh MMO has where there's no content. And that's, I don't know if the fucking reviewers are just ignorant to that aspect, or if they're just glossing over it, or if they just want to hype the game up even more. But I've not seen a single interviewer say that this has been around since X amount of time, and that's why there's the content. There's like, this game solved the issue of not having a content drought at the launch. I'm like, no shit, it's been around.
Not doing a lot of research.
Yeah, that's ignorant. That's fucking.
That's just game journalism is just being game journalism.
They're like, this is how every new MMO should launch, with actual content to fill your end game time. And I was like, bro,
released 5 years earlier. Yeah,
no, but what I will say is that this game does show how a drip fed and a game that has been out for a while should do content, because you can go like Swords of Legends Online, right? Like we all went and paid money to play that, and that was a fucking hot. That game has been out for umpteen amount of years and is super successful over in the East, and it comes over here and it's really bad. Like it's not.
That was their biggest issue. Is like instead of like I think that this game Lost Ark would have had issues if they would have come out like they originally intended to. They originally intended to bring us out. I think it was either T1 or T2, right? Max.
We were T1 is what we were supposed to be.
T1 Max. Okay. They last minute they were like, "Fuck, we need to release a T3," which is like raids. Like that's when they started introducing some of the bigger raids and stuff. And I think that was one of their best decisions that they made, because we as NA and EU players, when it comes down to that kind of stuff, we go through content extremely quickly. Like a lot of gamers these days will go through that content. They'll just no life it for an entire fucking like 2 to 3 days. There's already people that are max level in this game, right?
Well, max level of 50, not 60.
Well, soft cap, yeah. So there's a soft cap. There's like level 50 is your soft cap, and then it's like BDO where your hard cap is 60, but it takes you forever to get to 60, right? So if you guys don't know what that means, that's what that means. If they had done it where it was T1, those people wouldn't have anything to do right now, right? Like once they hit the soft cap, they'd be done. That's it, essentially. So
unless you're going to go from like a completionist standpoint, but.
Right.
I mean,
I mean, just by end
standpoint in this game,
right?
Yeah. But I just mean by end game, like raids, they wouldn't have had anything to do raid wise. They wouldn't have had anything to do. I don't think that they had like the portals in a T1 either. So you would have just been essentially, okay, I'm here. I guess I got to go and fucking collect Makoko seeds for 4 months while they fucking try and catch up.
Shows you comparing this to Solo, what a good port is and what a bad port is.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it is the thing about this is, so this puts us, from what Gold River said, I believe we are 6 to 8 months behind Russia. The goal is that within 3 months, by June, we are supposed to be up to Russia. By end of year, we are all on Korea's release schedule.
They had any DLCs for this game in Russia or no?
What's up?
Has there been any DLCs for this game or no?
What do you mean by DLC? I mean, there's been expansions.
Like how Final Fantasy does their DLCs.
No,
they don't do that.
Eastern games don't really do that. They just come out with content patches.
I wasn't sure.
They just it's all dumped content. It's just dumped into the game.
I shouldn't say that, because Final Fantasy is an Eastern game.
Yeah, but that's
Eastern MMOs.
It's a Western MMO, right? That's a Western style MMO and an Eastern developer. But the thing about this is that what I will say too is like Gold River, he talked about one of his ideas for this, like with them, and we may get it, we may not, I don't know, but it was this concept of doing like a content drop DLC where they were going to release an entire new continent, but the only way that you could get to that continent was you had to sail there, and there was no map. There was no direction on how. You just had to discover it. And once and then it was community fed of how you got to that island, and it would get out there. But then they made it so that it continued to keep doing that every he wanted to do every month or so. The pathing to get there would change, so it was a moving continent. Yeah. And it's just a dope concept and idea that they have the ability to do. I don't know.
It's a really good concept because like I was telling you earlier, Sin, they did that kind of thing in Black Desert. It wasn't a moving continent, right? But when they released the lawn, they also released the island where the lawn originated from. The lawn is a classic character class that you could play. But because their ocean, you can't use your mini map, you can't use your map. You essentially had to find that continent without a mini map. So you just had to take your boat out there and sail. I enjoyed that. I fucking love sailing content, like ocean content. That's where I'm at right now, right? Like I'm trying to get my boat as we speak.
I mean, stop playing a fucking game. He is playing.
Yes, I am actually.
You're an asshole, bro. Oh.
I ain't getting kicked out, bro. I ain't getting put in the 6,000 queue.
Sin is itching right now.
Yeah, I'm logging in right now.
As soon as this podcast goes down, Sin's is there.
Yeah.
The entire time I've been moving my character in the.
Funny.
Well, but yeah, I think that if they do that, if they do some kind of continent where you have to actually find it, that's just even more content, right? That's just even more things that the players have to contend with, and that keeps them busy, and that in an MMO, keeping your player base busy is the key, right?
Absolutely. They keep them moving. And again, they have a shit ton of content to be able to continue to drip feed us and drop us new classes. I mean, they can in this game easily drop a new class, and that will suffice for at least a week, 2 weeks. I want that thing so bad, man. I can't see straight.
I don't understand it, man.
No one needs. You don't need to understand.
I don't understand why you want that, considering how adverse you are to fucking anime. But man,
doesn't matter. It's
he wants that anime waifu titties, bro.
I want that fucking class. It looks dope. But a lot of 15 total classes that we have right now. There's 21 in the total game overall. It's just a blast to play. They do a great job too of power creep, of making you feel powerful all the way through, but also kicking your ass when you need to get your ass kicked.
Will get kicked.
Dude, world bosses will fucking kick your teeth in.
As a Sork, there's one section, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a siege that you have to go and take care of, right? That right there was the first time in this game that I've felt like I am the most powerful person on this fucking battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it is fucking amazing, and their cinematography too, man. Like I hate two of their main characters, but their cinematography is great. Like they just do a great job. It's great.
Bill, you need to pick it up tomorrow, man.
I'm telling you, man, try it.
Yeah,
it's free.
So I can drop it on the 25th.
Sure, but it's free, so you're not dropping.
It's free, bro.
You're not gonna hurt.
What you got to lose?
Right? You know what's not free? Time.
I mean,
but I don't know.
Look, bro. You can either continue to play the same fucking game you've been playing for 6 years in fucking what's it called? In the mods that you play, or you can go and play a new game.
Hey, can I point something out? I'm just on the East Coast server list right now. Avesta, Regulus, and Azina already cannot create characters.
Yeah, they closed it off earlier this afternoon.
Yeah. So Una's probably next, and then Galater probably. So
if you're wanting it, guys, if you wanted to get in and be part of our guild, you need to get in there now. $15. It's definitely worth. You will get the $15 worth. I promise you that. So
I would imagine they'll probably reopen character creation within maybe what would you say, like a week, maybe 2?
I would probably say 2 weeks, maybe.
I know that they opened up another server for each region, and then they're intending to open up a couple more servers for pretty much every region tomorrow. Yeah. So we'll see if they filter out some of the people from those larger servers, we might have it back open within a week or two. But it just depends on how many people, that influx of player base that comes in from the free to play market. So
yeah. All right, guys, we got to move on. We've got 30 minutes to go through quite a
I
bit
mean,
of news.
you could swoon over Lost Ark for the rest of the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. I could
if you
swoon.
wanted.
Yeah, for sure. We could go for the next 6 podcasts. All right. News. Acquisitions, guys. Acquisition season is upon us. So, Microsoft bought Activision.
Not the one I thought was going to happen.
No, none of us called this. None of us called this.
Did I not? I
You
think I did.
No, I don't think you did.
I think you did.
I don't think you called this one. But
Okay. I don't know.
We'll have to go check back on the podcast.
Yeah. Either way.
Microsoft.
Somebody listening right now, go check back on the podcast. See which one Scruffy called.
So Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. Last week, Sony bought Bungie. 3.8, I think, million or 3.6, no, billion, I'm sorry, dollars.
Was it 3? I thought it was 6.
No, it was 3.6 or 3.8 billion dollars. Picked up Bungie. So if you guys tuned into the last show, we're not last podcast. If you go back and listen to it, we're not getting into this heated debate about fanboy, right, wrong, whatever. I think we can all agree that fanboys on both sides are hypocritical pieces of shit, and that they will see things through rose-colored glasses and praise one for doing one thing and defame another for doing the same, right? So whether it's Microsoft defaming fucking Bungie, fanboys defaming Bungie fanboys, or Sony fanboys defaming fucking Microsoft fanboys, because Sony fanboys were praising fucking Sony, Microsoft fanboys are flaming. Microsoft fanboys were praising when they bought Activision. Sony fanboys were flaming them. So it's fucking crazy. This is ridiculous. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Good, bad, and different? What do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's a stupid acquisition. I don't think Bungie was worth that much money personally, but I know that people are saying that they purchased it not for the studio but for the talent, which I guess I can see that. Bungie's been a pretty good talent, at least in the industry, for a long time. My favorite part is the memes that keep going around where it's like, oh, Sony now owns Halo. It's like, no, they don't.
Yeah.
They own this company that originally made Halo. They do not own Halo. They own Bungie. They own fucking what's it called? I always forget the fucking name of the game.
Destiny.
I could care less. Destiny. Yeah.
Destiny.
I agree. I agree. I don't think it's worth the 3.6 billion. I think that number is kind of crazy to me. I understand why they bought it though. They bought it. They didn't buy it because of Bungie. Yeah. They bought it because of the live action or the live service, games as a service.
Yeah.
That's what they picked up and bought. That's what
I will also say that I think, there's a lot of people that go around and say, oh, it was a reflex buy. They bought it to go up against Microsoft. I kind of believe that it quickened the deal. Like it put a hasty, like, hey, we need to do this
impact
like
on
now.
it. Yeah. Oh,
but they've had this deal in the books for a long time.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that they're spending $3.6 billion in a week. Right? Like there's no way that they're just calling up Bungie, Bungie be like, hey Bungie, we got $3.6 million. You want to sell yourself? Let's go, baby, Sony.
Yeah. Bill.
So,
sorry.
Well, you can go, Bill, if you'd like.
Bill is our resident Sony player. I mean, he's our Sony guy.
From what I have gathered, the purchase, well, Destiny 2 it's been Sony leaning for a while. I feel like the purchase is leaning more towards resurrecting like older style Bungie IPs and like you were saying, the talent in the live service model.
Right. Yeah. I don't think that. I just don't see Destiny.
Personally, I'm getting tired of the back and forth on this kind of stuff already. I
imagine this is the start too.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset where I would.
The beginning.
Yeah,
I would prefer there to be more like freelance floating development studios than have them all kind of getting soaked up by like Microsoft, Sony, Tencent.
Yeah, Tencent.
Yeah, and then Nintendo kind of doing their own thing in the corner. But I it makes me nervous in that aspect, but there is a positive outlook where with large producer funds, you can do a lot more than you could in a independent environment. So
Yeah.
I also think
there's
there's like
good and bad to it. It makes me nervous about like overall like developmental competition.
So
I like
The-
that aspect.
Before we move on to you, Scruffy, really quick, I did have a question for you guys on it, and sorry to interrupt you. When they did acquire it, one of the things for them was that they were planning, like they're still autonomous completely. Like they're saying that Sony has no say in anything. Do you think that's actually true or not?
no, absolutely
Like,
not.
no.
I don't believe that at all.
They have about as much say in their games as what Bethesda has in Microsoft. Like Microsoft has in Bethesda's games, I would venture a guess. Like
I don't
you're gonna function as a studio like independently in that aspect, but if we deem something one way or the other, then
I mean, the companies, these companies like because I don't believe it for Microsoft either. Like, I absolutely believe that they are not going to continue to let Bungie or Bethesda or any of these other companies just kind of have free reign to do whatever they want. That's like saying like, yeah, Activision, we bought Activision, but they're going to continue to do what
yeah,
they want.
I was
Like,
about to say they're definitely not doing it with
abso-fucking-lutely not.
Activision, because they came out today and were like, hey, we're keeping a close eye on Activision, and if they fuck up, they fuck up. We're done. You know, like they're out of there.
Right.
Right.
Scruff, you've been waiting patiently. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry, Scruff. Apologize, bud.
And really, I have no opinion. No,
What?
but
Fucking
that's partially true because
Scruff,
really, I mean,
our local fence toast sitter.
this of course affects me in no way whatsoever. I am no longer a Sony player. I am not a Destiny fan. But I also am not shocked by this. And if I do recall, I think I called this out on the last podcast, but maybe I'm wrong. If not, I was thinking it at least because I know Bungie and Sony were already like pretty close with their Bungie or Destiny Sony exclusive shit as well. I don't think this was a bad acquisition. I do agree with you guys that this probably the amount that they paid was maybe not worth it entirely. But I can also see Sony's way of looking again with the talented creators on the team. But also, I heard rumors of Sony wanting to take Bungie past the realm of gaming and also introducing
Yeah, they
Bungie into
TV and stuff.
movies and shows, pretty much the world of like other media and entertainment. So I could also see that being a goal of theirs in this aspect and making it a little bit more worth it if they actually get something going there.
Well, especially because Sony, I mean, they make movies, so I mean that just
Yeah,
kind
so
of
it makes perfect sense, and with already Bungie's talent with their live action and cinematography, I think it could make a good universe, honestly.
My question is Bungie cinematics or Blizzard cinematics?
Riot cinematics.
Yeah,
Riot
Riot does some.
Woo!
Riot puts the
Riot
fucking
anime, bro.
Yeah,
Riot cinematics have blown me away. Before I would have
They're
said Blizzard cinematics all the way.
Well, I will point out that Riot is their cinematic team is predominantly made out of ex Blizzard employees.
Well,
true,
that
true.
completely
That explains it.
that completely makes sense then. But yeah, Riot,
Yeah.
as far as cinematography goes, is top tier
Blizzard,
in the gaming scape.
Bungie, I'd say that's the line down. I'm not to say Bungie has bad cinematography. I just think I just enjoy the other ones more personally. Opinion.
it's like varsity and JV. Bungie's the JV team, and fucking Riot and Blizzard are the varsity team. So, Bill, I did want to say one thing about this, where I did take some time to think about like the whole overall landscape of
consumer friendly.
So, are you listening to the
Knock it off.
podcast, Scruffy?
Sorry.
He's trying to be like, I was right. I did say it. But I thought I took a long, like, hard look at kind of that thought, right, of what's happening with the landscape of gaming and publishers and these companies going away. One thing I did come away with is that out of these acquisitions, a lot of these guys and a lot of people are getting paid a lot of money that are going to leave and start other development companies, right? Like new teams, new things. So are we going to get, a company that is going to have the pedigree of active? Well, fuck that. I cannot believe that came out of my mouth. A pedigree of like, Blizzard or, Bungie or whatever, like of yesteryear. Maybe not, but like we are going to get, I would guarantee out of these
I think we
acquisitions,
might.
I would probably say we're going to get at least 10 to 15 new companies.
Well, we've got that one that's like the I can't remember what they call themselves, but it's like Snow Yeti or something like that. It's made up of like two or three of the original heads of Blizzard and a bunch of employees that they poached from
Right.
Blizzard and Activision Blizzard. I'm looking forward to that one because they're trying to come back with like original like World of Warcraft, StarCraft RTSs,
Right.
which is something we haven't seen in the industry for a long time, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's hopefully that puts a little bit of ease into it. I still understand it, like 2 companies, 3 companies monopolizing, owning all of this, and it can create a
I'm
wasteland.
pretty well over the monopolizing idea at this point. I did some more research into stuff myself, and just because big dollar amounts are being thrown around does like Microsoft's money still concerns me, but seeing the interactions between the companies and stuff like that, I don't think there's any intent on closing the gaming space off in that kind of a way.
Well,
Well,
and
no,
Microsoft has came out recently and said that even with their Activision Blizzard purchase, they're still technically third
I will.
largest company.
Well, um, to your point, Bill, like closing it off, like we talked about before, it would be suicide, right? I mean, or not suicide, it would just be stupid, right? It's like both companies have to, and I think that this is, and I mentioned this before, is like this is was these, and I'm going to give the credit to Spencer on this, not to Microsoft, but just to Phil Spencer specifically. I think he was like, look, we have to push this shit forward. The only way that we can do this is by fucking forcing evolution of saying, guys, fuck, we got to play together, man. Like, we have to fucking get over this hump. And like, now we're actually seeing this like come to fruition. Hopefully it continues to stay, right? Like, because both Microsoft and fucking Sony have said this is not the end. We are buying more companies. Like, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I also don't see the whole deifying Phil Spencer thing. I think he's a great guy for the industry, but I don't hold him as high of a pedestal as y'all do. But
Each his own, right?
Yeah, it's
yeah.
though.
Yeah. All right. Moving on from that, we have. Did you guys catch the Nintendo Direct?
I did
Nope.
not.
Yeah,
I know nothing that came out of it except all the Kirby memes.
I don't give a shit about Nintendo. Last time they released something good, it was 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, we're just he's muted for a little while. Chat, don't worry.
I'm in the timeout corners.
Bill, you're again one of our. I mean, I'm Nintendo. I like Nintendo stuff. I'm not a Nintendo hater, but you are our Switch player. What do you think, man?
Primarily my girlfriend's a Switch player. I dabble in it every now and then. I have the Castlevania collection on there, and I have some fun with that. The Nintendo Direct, a few really nice highlights with a whole bunch of we're re-releasing old ass games on the Switch and games that like were never on like Nintendo consoles on the Switch, which I found weird. The big highlights were Mario Strikers. We have a new Mario Strikers game, which those are actually phenomenal soccer games, believe it or
they
not.
are.
We have a new Xenoblade Chronicles coming out. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was announced. And we've got a new Kirby game coming out in the vein of like Mario Odyssey. So an kind of semi-open world 3D Kirby game that actually looks really, really cool, even with all of the mouth stuffed
There's
memes.
a lot of Kirby memes.
Because the last time Kirby was relevant, I was 13.
You're wrong. Actually, a few years ago, Kirby had a phenomenal game that came out. Thank you very much. So, yeah, no, I mean,
those were the 3 big takeaways that I saw.
You're not excited about Nintendo Switch
with
Sports?
Disney on a few things, which I find really weird.
They're partnering with who?
Disney.
Oh.
They've got a Disney racing game on there. That's like that surprised me the most because they also were advertising the DLC pack for Mario Kart Switch in the same Nintendo Direct that they're advertising another competing racing title.
You think maybe Disney is going to purchase Nintendo?
Hell no.
Please,
don't
dear
think so?
God, no.
Nintendo would allow
Actually,
that.
no. I
The,
think
the
you,
weird the
I don't think they
weird thing
can.
about it was
I don't know.
so we had that Disney racing game, and then they were announcing Star Wars The Force Unleashed is coming out on Switch. Like the OG Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Like that old ass game is coming out on Switch. I was like, is this
I mean, maybe, but
really
I thought
I'm
something that we're
curious, man. If they're
filling a
starting to
direct
push stuff
slot
out,
with?
I thought
if they're
Universal
starting to push
owned
out, man.
owned parts of Nintendo, or do they just own like the theme park theme park rights? Universal Studios or Universal, I know for a fact, has theme park rights. I just don't know if they have other rights to Nintendo. Because that is like Nintendo World is coming to Super Mario World or Land or whatever it's fucking called is coming to Orlando. It's in Japan as a theme park in Universal Studios. So anyway, I don't know, but you're not excited about No Man's Sky coming to the Switch or Nintendo Switch Sports?
They're all fucking old ass games, dude. Like the one old game that got me excited was Chrono Cross.
I am excited about Chrono
Cross.
Cross.
It's a remaster of Chrono Cross coming to the Switch that actually
I am dude. Advance Wars 1 and 2.
There's a few games that were coming out that looked like Octopath Traveler like style games, just taking that art style and
yeah. I'm excited for Advance Wars 1 and 2. I loved Advance Wars, bro.
Kind of jumping back to the acquisition talk real fast is with the acquisition of Activision. I guess they want to put COD now on Switch, is what I heard. So it kind of relates.
Sure.
I don't know if that has to do anything with that, but
Why not? It's on mobile. I mean,
yeah. So
I don't know.
That was interesting.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like Nintendo's like when you watch their directs.
So it's a partnership between Nintendo and Universal for that resort location. Universal doesn't have any stake in Nintendo as a company.
Cool. So maybe I don't know. Maybe Disney does buy them. I don't know. But if you guys ever watch these directs live, because I went back and rewatched it, it's so weird, man. Because it's like Nintendo is just this, like
Nintendo itself is weird.
They
dude.
literally
You
have
gotta
like a
accept
split
the fact that
personality.
It's fucking weird.
It's at some points in time it's like fuck yes, yeah, like the direct. It's in the same direct. It's like yes, this is awesome. And the next minute they're hitting you in the face with like front mission first. What? Who? Did somebody want this? Like, did somebody ask for this? Where the fuck did this come from?
That was what me and Britt were talking about the entire time that they were going through that middle section of like, who asked for Star Wars Force Unleashed to come out on Switch? Like, who out there wants that?
Yeah, and so and to me, especially right now, like with the Steam Deck coming out or like starting to get out there and people getting their hands on it, and in the next couple weeks being full released, like. I don't know, man. Like this is a time when, to me, Nintendo needs to come out swinging for the fucking fences because that is exactly who the Steam Deck is going after, is the handheld market, and that is a market that Nintendo has held on to for a very long time.
You think they're gonna announce a 1440p or whatever fucking version of the Switch or the Switch?
No, absolutely
not.
not.
Wasn't that what everybody was expecting? Like a Switch Pro was gonna be like 4K or some shit like that.
That's what I heard.
They'll never know.
And then they released the Switch.
They'll go 4K when everyone's going 8K. That's their motto is like one step back. Let's backward. Like let's go back there. But I don't know. It works for them, man. I don't know. Like
Nintendo does their own thing.
They're successful. Dude, they're successful.
They're successful because there's like a small subsect of people that will continuously buy their shit.
I don't know if it's a small subsect, man. I mean, people are buying that Pokemon game in fucking droves, and it's not getting the best reviews out there.
I don't understand that.
But
shit looks like a fucking 5-year-old put it together in stock assets.
Did you get Arceus, Bill?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So have you played it personally, or?
I've watched Britt play it. I haven't played it.
Okay.
It's really good. It's a lot of fun. She's very much enjoying it. Even if it looks like a GameCube game, she's very much enjoying it.
That's good. I've heard it's fun, and that's what I figured. Like the gameplay of it was gonna be fun, even though it looks like,
It's I mean, I don't think any of us deny that the game, like the loop was fun.
I think any of us did. I'm just thinking.
I just think that
I just said it looks like trash. It looks like a fucking 2012 game.
Yeah, I think the graphics is where we were kind of like, what?
especially
that's
especially in
the
comparison to
universal
other games
opinion.
on there.
Yeah.
That's the universal opinion on it. Is that graphically it's
I
several
watched
generations back, but
I
it
watched
is
Hey Tony
a
play it. It seemed like the actual like, game mechanics were well thought out, but
oh
yeah.
yeah, it's the direction Pokemon needs to go, and a lot of people are saying this is Game Freak finally waking up that they needed to release another game
Well, they
outside of
needed
what they've been doing.
they've needed an open world like Pokemon game for a long time. That wasn't the fucking Sword and Shield one, you know?
You know what's crazy about Nintendo to me is the fact that they have such a catalog of IPs that they could fucking drop at any given time
Yeah,
and
man.
just make a shit ton of money. And they do it in such like a weird fashion. Again, like Mario Strikers. Like Mario Strikers is a phenomenal. You're right. It's a phenomenal soccer game, and it has the Mario stuff. It's like honestly, like bring back Mario Baseball, man. Mario Sluggers. I love that game. That game was great. But where's
Mario
my
does sports games really well.
Yeah,
It's
for whatever
like Mario
reason,
Sluggers, Mario Tennis, Mario Strikers, like
I
those.
understand that.
dude? I need a Mario like
Neither did I.
NBA Jam mashup. Give me a Mario fucking basketball game on like a 2D plane. I'm all in.
Mario versus Space Jam.
Sure, man. I don't know. I don't want
Okay.
LeBron James anywhere near my fucking Mario. Give me.
I want a Mario foosball game.
But
There,
it's
there
but
have been
if
Mario basketball games, by the way. Sin.
but
Have
if
there?
it's
I don't
if
know
it's
you're
Space
aware.
Jam, then they
I
have to
am
have
not.
Lola the Bunny. You can't cut
Yeah,
Lola the Bunny
Mario.
out. I'm just saying.
Mario Slam.
Mario
it's called.
I need to go find that.
They were DS games, so that's probably
That's
why.
probably why. Yeah, I was not a DSer. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just want my Kid Icarus games. Like, where's those? Where's all my like old school fucking shit? I actually do think that that Nintendo would get in the acquisition game to buy Sega. I see that acquisition happening.
I could see that acquisition happening too. I also think Nintendo's opening up to like revitalizing some of their older IPs, like what they did with. They finally put out like a decent Metroid game recently. They're still working on
Right.
Metroid Prime.
I heard
The
Dread was really good.
Yeah, the Kirby game is a good jump in the right direction for revitalizing that franchise. They
Well,
just need to keep riding.
aren't they doing a
Breath
new
of the
Earthbound
Wild
game?
into the ground?
Oh no, it's being Mother Earthbound's being added out. Okay, like where is there?
Yeah,
Why do
no,
we not
it's
have another
just
Earthbound game?
Earthbound 3 is finally getting a US release. It was Japan exclusive forever.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Nintendo. They're doing Nintendo things like they're always doing. So,
Do they have any more bunnies like they did the last time?
we talking about rabbits?
Rabbits?
Yeah, the
No,
rabbits bullshit.
No,
That shit was
No.
weird as fuck,
Isn't
man.
Ra-
They didn't actually advertise that game, which
Rabbids
we
was
haven't heard.
Isn't
I can
rabbits
see why-
rare? Is rabbits rare?
Hmm?
I don't
Is
know.
rabbits owned by Rare? Or,
Yeah,
which is
because
Microsoft?
they are part of the Rayman.
That's right.
Uh,
But, oh, I forgot to mention this about the Bungie thing. Quick, I want to go back real quick. Just wrap your head around this just for 1 second of Bungie's lifestyle. Bungie independent studio, right? Bungie comes up. Bungie makes Halo. Microsoft buys Bungie. Bungie splits away from Microsoft, goes independent again. Microsoft keeps Halo. Bungie does their thing, then gets picked up by Activision. Bungie's with Activision for a little while. Bungie splits, does their own thing. Microsoft buys Activision. Then Bungie gets bought by Sony. Like,
Bungie's a whore.
Bungie has fucking has had more pipe laid in it than any other gaming industry publisher.
That's actually hilarious. That's a good point.
Like, it dawned on me when I first heard about it. I was like, holy fuck, man. Bungie has touched everybody. It's like the girl in the corner being like, yeah, man. I mean, if you
Just
want
haven't touched EA. They ain't touching EA.
No, surprisingly
Who's
enough.
next? I bet, bro.
You think they're gonna buy it off Sony?
Oh my god. Anyway, sorry. All right. So last bit of news before we close out, guys. Get your questions ready. By the way, if you have any questions, get them ready pertaining to stuff that we talked about. But and we also have 2 questions that Chicken Boy phoned in or called in or messaged or whatever. So we have those. We have to bring those up as well. But yep, we got your questions, Chicken Boy. So we absolutely live in a dystopian future where bank heists are now happening virtually online in the crypto metaverse world. Your NFTs aren't safe. Hide your NFTs, hide your Bitcoins, hide your wife. They're all getting jacked A hacker walked away with $300 million worth of cryptocurrency in the fourth largest, keep that in mind, only fourth largest blockchain heist ever.
That's crazy.
Let that sit in for just a second. The point of cryptocurrency was that it was supposed to be secure, and it's supposed to be like a better way and a more stable way of banking. Then I want to get away from big banks.
This ain't the way, dog.
This ain't the way. Like,
Start putting my
Apparently not.
money under the mattress.
what the hell, bruh?
Web3's,
$300 million.
I thought it was
Web3 is
30 million to be exact too.
Web3 will get there eventually, but right now
And
it's sketch, man.
and it wasn't even a fucking like Dogecoin or some other bullshit like cheap ass coin. It was Ethereum. Like he stole $330 million worth of Ethereum from 120,000 or stole nearly 120,000 Ethereum at a 1-to-1 exchange token with the Ethereum's network Ether.
Hold on. What's
Did we
his
just
name?
lose Craig?
Craig, yeah, disconnected.
Uh-oh. Was Craig involved in this?
He knows too much.
Are we getting hacked at the moment? Is the wormhole here now being exploited on us? Like, I'm not gonna stop the show just for this. Like, we got to keep talking. But
I mean, if we stop the show now, I don't have the complete show for the recording.
okay, well, guys, talk so
Stalling.
much. Do, 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 do. I can talk more about Lost Ark. You guys want to talk more about Lost Ark? Are we allowed to talk, Enigma? Can we not talk?
I mean, you guys are talking. I don't think. I think Craig's broke. I don't think he's joining back.
Can we kick him and then bring him?
Oh well,
there we go.
Here goes the video. Bye, Craig. So you know how we don't like we touted like, oh man, no issues. The podcast is going to go off without a hitch. Yeah, Scruff, get real. Like, thanks. Like, I need you to keep. Bill, somehow peep your head the other way. Oh,
now recording.
There we go.
There you go.
Welcome back, Craig. Everybody say welcome back, Craig.
Welcome back, Craig.
Anyway, this is just insane to me. Like, and like if you watch like the transactions, it was like plus 0.1, plus 120,000, minus 10,000, minus 80,000, minus 3,750, minus 16,000, plus 269,356 and 60. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, I don't know, dude. This is just nuts to me.
Web3, man, it'll get there. It'll get there, but it's still Wild West territory right now, and nobody loved robbing banks more than cowboys.
Fuck, dude. Yeah, I guess. Just be careful, please, guys. NFTs, stay away from them. Like, just stay away from NFTs. But we've talked about it numerous times.
Yeah.
But cryptocurrency, guys, please be careful. Like, please be careful and be smart about what you're doing. And do research on where you're putting your money and investing your stuff. Because shit like this can happen.
I'm gonna make my own cryptocurrency.
Do not buy.
Start making
Default
NFTs
Enigma coin.
of my balls, having
Riddle
like stretched
coin.
out in different patterns.
Dude, it's funny because
Like, this is the Batwing NFT of my balls, and then this is the Goat NFT of my balls.
someone has watched Waiting.
It's a great movie.
Oh, man. It is identical to working in the food service industry. Just want to put that out there. I have served, and that is exactly the shit that happens in those restaurants.
That is terrifying.
It
honestly.
is. It's 100%. Don't ever send your food back, and don't fuck with people that handle your food.
I don't. I
The
never
only
do.
problem is I wish every restaurant had Ryan Reynolds in it. It would just make my dining experience 100% better.
Right? There's a Ryan Reynolds in every restaurant. You just got to find him. So, yeah. Anyway, quick hit stuff before we open up to questions. Dying Light 2 came out. At first, it seemed to be kind of but then after the day one patch that fixed 1,000 things, it seems to have gotten better. There's still.
That's what I was telling my cousin. My cousin was big into Dying Light 1, He's like, yeah, I didn't pick it up because all the reviews said it was shit, and I was like, yeah, but they literally
people got,
fixed
like,
it after all of the
pussy.
reviews.
I've
Like,
been
Reviewers got to
see,
shut their mouth until literally the day one patch.
I've been hearing opposite, man. Like everybody I talk to that's played it is like it's fucking amazing.
well, that's the thing.
Thanks now.
The
Crazy, man.
people playing the game are
Yeah.
liking the game, but everybody that was
Yeah.
reviewing it was reviewing it like
That's
when the
good-
embargo lifted, like
good
3 or
old-
4 days before.
Good
it was
old games
released.
journalists, you know.
Yeah.
So it had like an 81% on Metacritic, but gamers are like thrilled about it. So.
I still have heard that there are some things about the game that are kind
There's
of
issues.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well,
It's not perfect.
Dying Light also came out with some issues.
dude, Techland is a fucking buggy ass company when it comes to their games. Like, but
one of the cool things they do though is they'll turn their like bugs and stuff into like events later down the line. They had a bug in the game Dying Light 1 whenever it first came out where if you kicked something, it would just like de-physics them and they would just go flying. And then for the April Fool's event, they put that bug back into the game so you could just
they did it with this.
zero physics.
Awesome.
They did it with this. It was so the pre-build game came out with a quote unquote developer room that they had there so that what you could do was go in the game to get products and items that you could try out in the world. They didn't take it out. They just left it in. They were like, you got to find the key to it and go in there. But we're shutting it down. Like it was like 4 days after the game launched. They're like, we're gonna shut it down. So you got 4 days. Go have a fucking blast. And then they're just
man.
like, yeah, shut it down.
That's the kind of shit I can respect. Like that takes like Bethesda level buggy, but then puts it in the power of the player. Like, yeah, we're aware of it. Have fun, guys.
Right.
We're
Yeah. The issues that I've heard about it is just like there's some things that like the way that the game kind of progresses and some of the story beats of it, or not story, but like not story beats, but just like overall kind of mechanics of the game feel a little weird. But I don't know, man. I mean,
they're running in the parkour to me, and granted I haven't played it, but the running in the parkour to me it looks very floaty. Like it seems like it's very
That's what we said about the first Dying Light 2. Didn't it kind of start like that, like, and then they patched it.
Yeah.
Dying Light, the original Dying Light didn't get good until almost like 2 years after didn't get to a point of being at where it is now until for like almost 2 years. It was a bunch of the DLCs that made it a lot better. So, Sifu.
I will say from what I've been hearing as well, it's probably one of the better optimized games that have come out recently as far as AAA goes, and it's got maybe the best optimized ray tracing engine going on with it.
Awesome. I mean, I plan on picking it up, just not right now. Sifu came out. I am absolutely going to pick up Sifu at some point in time. Sifu is the game that was, it is the game that we saw at the Game Awards or E3, one of them, where you fight. It's like hand-to-hand combat. It's a roguelike, but when you die, you age. And then when you hit 70 years old, you die and you're dead. And then you have to restart your run. But you have to die to be able to level up your character.
You're gonna break your Epic embargo?
No, I'm not buying it now. I will buy it. I'm not buying anything now because of Lost Ark. But when it eventually,
it's a 1 year
exclusive, bro.
It's a 1 year exclusive. I don't know if it is.
I don't know. As far as I've been reading, like
I see no news on it ever coming
Yeah.
to Steam. It looks like it's Epic and PlayStation only.
The what's it called? The developers have said nothing about it being on Steam. So
yeah, well, that's sad.
Well, what about their other game, Absolver?
Absolver's
wasn't on
Absolver
Steam
was
either.
on Steam.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Absolver's
Was
on
it?
Steam.
Then
was
they
on Steam,
very
yeah.
well might. They very well might. Okay.
it
Yeah.
might.
It is a very
I
That
still
was-
think it's stupid, but
That was before Epic Games was a thing, though.
yeah.
Like really taking off.
yeah.
But it is a.
I also don't think Absolver was on PlayStation, was it?
It was PlayStation 4 and Windows and Xbox One. It was
Oh, was it?
completely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was completely open.
I think Sifu, from what I've seen, is one of these games where it's like pain. It's you love to hate it and you hate that you love it. Kind of games. It's a very fucking difficult game. It's a difficult game to master, but it is a very unique style of game. So
I heard it was really really short though.
It is.
Like, extremely short.
Yeah, but I mean, I've heard that it's also extremely fucking difficult. Like,
Oh no, I'm not saying it's not it, but I have heard a lot of people say it's very like overly short.
how much
for
is the game?
The amount of money that you're paying for it.
Is it? Is it? I feel like it's
Sifu,
30.
I think it's $30.
Yeah, it sounds like a $30 game.
Sifu, it is.
Does it have any form of replayability?
I mean,
$39.99.
it's got the
$40.
different runs that you can make, but
Yeah, it's a roguelite-esque. It's how much? 39.
$39.99. Yeah.
That's a little pricey.
Yeah.
That's too much in my opinion.
I think it's well worth the price from what the game offers. I think
put
there
it
is
at
enough
30, that'd be-
there is enough replayability into it. There's different endings depending on how what age you're at by the time you get to the ending, how many times you die, because it goes off of like a Rogue Legacy style thing where it's like a lineage.
Yeah. But see, to me, the problem though is if you're gonna go exclusive, I feel like you should automatically. I don't know. I just feel like if you're gonna go exclusive in a game like that, I think it should be cheaper than $40. I just think 40 and exclusive is like a little much. Because I don't know. I mean, in my mind, you got the exclusivity money. Like you couldn't give it to us. I'm not saying 20, but I think 30. I think $30 is a
30 would have been fair.
price point.
It'll be on sale eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hopefully when it comes to Steam.
That's a new one.
Wow. Sister19LOL.online. Go have at it.
Good God. That one's the first actual like sketchy one I've seen in a minute.
Wow. That's good to know bots are alive and well. Everybody say hi to the bot.
bot.
Is that Craig's sister though? Do we know? Is that may be Craig's sister?
Right, yeah.
Last little bit of news. The Steam Deck, like I said, is getting out there. Reviews are coming in and they are saying that it is fucking phenomenal.
Hardware wise, they haven't they haven't allowed a deep dive into the software yet.
Nope, hardware wise. They are saying that the battery is a little bit on the light side. If you don't shut the thing off, it'll last 90 minutes. So that's a little rough. But
that is rough.
But yeah. Epic then in turn said, fuck the Steam Deck. No Fortnite or Epic games will ever come to that, which is a fucking lie.
Nobody asked him.
Well, at the same time, it's running fucking Windows in the background or Linux or some shit. Just all you gotta do is just break the shit and fucking download the goddamn thing. So it's not like it's like,
well,
all right,
I mean, it does make sense because fucking Epic is not a good friend of Linux, so it's like.
Yeah, I want to clarify what you were saying about that 90-minute battery drain. They did get it to. They did a battery. That was a battery strain test. They had Devil May Cry set up on uncapped frame rate, VSync enabled, max settings. And that was the quickest that the battery drain was an 87-minute.
I thought that was just it was running in the back. It was just on, and it went. It didn't.
No, that was the strain test. On average, they had it. Most people are having it run anywhere between 2 to 8 hours, depending on what their settings are and what game they're playing.
I mean, now that the hardware is out, it's starting to get out there. I am probably gonna pick one up. Especially also just with Lost Ark, but I'm very interested in picking one up again.
I'd wait a few generations, but
yeah,
it seems like it's the battery's running on the lower end as of right now of the 2 to 8. It seems to be more of like a 2 to 4 for most people that are like putting in like consistent time on it.
Yeah.
But I could play Lost Ark in bed.
I can play Final Fantasy 14 in bed. That's one of the big reasons I've got a pre-order on the Steam Deck, was so that I can, because I feel like I would enjoy Final Fantasy 14 in a mobile way more than I would sitting at my computer with it. It just would be more convenient for that kind of grind.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. That's the quick hit stuff. Questions. I don't think we got any in chat, but Chicken Boy, he sent in some questions. You guys have them prepped? You guys have them ready?
Yeah, I sent them to you.
Where? Where?
In the podcast chat?
I'm looking at the podcast chat. Where? Did you guys pin them? No. Do you know how much stuff we talk about in the podcast chat? Holy shit, man! You want me to just go searching for?
We talk about a lot of stuff that's not even relevant to the podcast.
I would have hoped that you would have, instead of just letting it sit in the fucking podcast chat, downloaded them.
Oh my god, you guys can't do. I have to do it all, bro. Jesus Christ, you just have to show up.
This is what we pay you for. Come
fucking
on,
I literally got you the fucking recordings. What do you mean? You literally just had to click a fucking button.
Scruffy, did you find it? Please tell me you find it.
No, I haven't found it.
Oh fuck. God damn it. Hold on.
Acting like it's my fault that
bro,
you didn't
I'm having
fucking click a
I'm
button.
I'm literally having
Oh,
to
I'm sorry that I fucking expected you to
You
go
couldn't
and
just
would expend
fucking-
2.86 neutrons of fucking your life to fucking click a button.
Oh my god. Hey, we're gonna mute Enigma. We're gonna mute Enigma because keep in mind the amount of effort it takes to put this fucking show together is crazy. Okay, I just want to make sure that's known. Thanks. Like I'm just like I'm sitting over here with my
It would have
fucking.
been even worse just clicking that fucking button. Let me tell you what.
You couldn't have just pinned it. I don't understand. You couldn't have just fucking pinned it.
I did. I fucking did.
No, you didn't. We're having it
No, I
out,
know
bro.
you did. I just have no idea where.
There's
you
no way you
fuck
pinned
with
it because I'm
God,
fucking
man.
going through the like. You know how I know you didn't pin it because I'm going through it right now, and the pin stuff.
I didn't pin it. I said I posted it.
I don't give a fuck about posting. If you don't pin it, I can't find it, bro.
Click the button.
Oh, you clicked the fucking button.
I did.
Oh my god.
On twice.
Okay, I finally found it. It was. Oh Jesus Christ, dude. God, fuck it. Oh my god. Seriously.
My
Okay.
goodness, bro.
You're killing me.
I'm good to play both of these, right? Like they're like it's not.
I don't know. Chicken. One of them was Mimi. I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm gonna play it. I don't know which one this is.
First one.
The first one is
I'm pretty
Mimi.
sure I'm pretty sure there's a description underneath it.
Okay, first one. You got. Here we go.
Hey guys, this is Chicken Boy 221. I don't know if anybody has sent a recorded message to the podcast yet or no, but you know, I decided to do it just to see if it works or
Happy
not.
that you did it, Chicken Boy. It does work.
I have a few questions, so I'm gonna see if I
few.
can fit them all. So my first question is: later this year, there's a potential of Fallen Order 2 and Frostpunk 2 to be released. What are y'all's opinions over these two games in general, and would any of y'all consider playing these games in your stream?
Okay, boom. All right, we're gonna pause there for that one. So, Frostpunk 2 and Fallen Order 2. I have not played Fallen Order 1.
Same.
I've heard that it's a very good game.
You haven't played Fallen Order,
Nope.
Bill?
Oh.
Nah, man.
I thought that would be right up your alley, man.
You would think it's on my list. I also haven't played Neo 2 either, so
Wow, that actually shocks me more than Fallen Order 2.
yeah.
But-
I can answer that
I
one.
hope that Fallen Order 2 is just as good as Fallen Order 1 because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. I couldn't get through it. I'm not a Soulsborne player, but you know, from what I did play of it, it was really fun.
I watched some of it. I enjoyed a lot what I watched, but yeah, I never played it either.
Yeah.
But-
I have played Frostpunk though, and
I
that's
heard that game's hard.
It's a very fun, very challenging
Yeah.
colony management. I'm looking forward to number 2. Yeah.
I have Frostpunk 2 on my wish list. So,
Both games I want to play, both being the first editions, and then I would love to get into the second ones eventually, but I don't have currently any plans to play them.
I have Lost Ark, so I don't give a fuck about anything right now. So, that's just where
I got a
sit.
question in my chat.
Okay,
For sure.
can I finish this one or?
Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Yes,
Yeah.
go.
Question number 2.
Yes.
With the new surges of Omicron, do you think this will impact the video game industry in terms of delayed release dates or big events like E3? Could it be a repeat of 2020?
Events, yes. Game development, no.
Yeah, I think isn't the next E3 already?
It's already been
online only?
canceled. Yeah.
Yeah,
E3
yeah,
this
yeah,
year
it's
is-
been
COVID
canceled.
pretty well killed that
I mean,
type of
E3 was
event
dying anyway. E3
Yeah,
was
it
on its
was.
last leg, so this is-
Conventions are still fine, but like there's like E3 and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that's all just going to be remote showcases anymore.
dude, TwitchCon when it comes
Yeah.
back is gonna blow the fuck up. And then coincidentally, it's going. So is the Human Civilization when all of the variants decide to have an orgy at TwitchCon and become some kind of super virus that wipes the face of the earth off. So there you go.
Nice.
Thanks, Twitch.
Yeah. Thanks, Amaranth. Yeah. So game development, no, I think game development is they have like the thing about this, and I've said this from the beginning, is that something like this is again an evolutionary process where companies are realizing, oh shit, we can do remote work and it fucking is actually somewhat better than going into the office because people can just kind of chill at their home and feel relaxed and blah blah blah. But like,
It was hella convenient for schooling too, like universities specifically. It opened up a lot of infrastructure routes for more efficient, uh, both work and learning.
I don't know about that. Through our schools over here through a fucking loop because they were like, how do we fucking set this up? I don't understand
Yeah,
technology. What do we
there were
do?
growing pains, but now that it's set up and like going, it's
Yeah,
something that they're gonna have as a fallback forever now.
I'm kind of on the other end. I think that if there is another upsurge of these new variants and it's as bad as we took it for the first one, I think there will be a little bit of delays because there was delays in COVID to begin with, and yeah, it was probably partially to do with the fact that they didn't have really the infrastructure set down for like remote work. But even remote work, like there's been a lot of people that have been saying that like remote work, while
It's
it's
not as
nice,
efficient as
it's
in
not as
person.
efficient. Exactly.
well, there's something about being in a
We
space
were
with other
prepared
people.
this time.
Exactly, and the biggest thing is like it's efficient for some companies or for some regions of work, right? It's for some genres or whatever you want to call them. For like game development for creative teams, remote work is actually kind of harder for it because you're not there face to face, right? You're kind of you don't got that personal vibe going to it, which is what a lot of creative stuff works off of, at least for the most
Well,
part.
watch Grandma's Boy. Though it's a
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
fucking movie, but Grandma's Boy, a couple of those scenes, like that environment and the environment of going to a game developer and the perks of like being working in a space that's just surrounded by video games, like that is also part of that culture, right? And part of that
Yo,
feeling.
if you want a great show that goes into that kind of a mindset, Mythic Quest on Apple TV.
Yeah, I've
It's a
heard of
really
that.
good show. It's a really good show about a game dev studio. It kind of
Isn't it a
it
comedy?
parodies off of like early Blizzard.
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
Cool. Bill, you said you had a question.
Yeah. What is your? This is from Jake. What is your guys' take on gaming journalism in quotes, saying that Elden Ring is the gateway drug to the Souls games?
The gateway drug?
I guess I could
I
Yeah.
see
don't
that.
understand what that means. Yeah, because
What
wouldn't the gateway be like?
Opening up Souls games to the general audience, a
Oh, okay.
game that
Yeah,
is
no,
in
I
that
can kind of
genre that's finally going to have like
a broader audience.
broader mainstream appeal.
Yeah, and maybe that way the people can like get a feel for it and go then back to the Souls games. See
Uh,
Um,
it. Well, I don't know how much of an effect Elden Ring
I
will have.
don't. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be necessarily a gateway, but I think it'll definitely succeed in bringing a wider audience attention to it for sure.
the
Yeah, I think just based on the open world nature alone.
Yeah.
I think the issue that I see though is that the people that are coming to it
For that
because
reason.
it's open world when they go and play something in the back in like the Dark Souls or Demon Souls or Bloodborne world, they're gonna feel claustrophobic, um, and hindered by that because I do think there are a lot of people that are gonna go into Elden Ring, and I think because of the nature of it being open world, it's gonna be an not necessarily easier game, but it's not going to be as dick kickingly difficult as what Souls can be.
It's less
I think
linear.
I think that the bosses, from what I've seen of the bosses of Elden Ring, I think that's where your difficulty is going to lie. But I think they, through the open world nature, they've given more avenues for you to get ready for the bosses.
Do you think? Let me counter it with another question. Do you think that going forward, this changes Dark Souls games forever to be not forever, but for the next a couple iterations to be open world only and not kind of on
No.
that path?
I think Elden Ring is going to be their open world franchise if they choose to do sequels with Elden Ring. As far as Miyazaki has still stated, Dark Souls is done. So moving forward, yeah, I guess from software specific Souls games or the genre that they build games in, as long as they make sequels to Elden Ring, I think it's still going to have that open world nature. But if they resurge Dark Souls, I think it'll go back to a more claustrophobic level-based stylings.
Cool.
Same thing with Bloodborne 2. If Bloodborne 2 gets developed, I think it'll still stick with set paths and stuff. I don't think either of those games would thrive much, like just from their loop in a open world environment, and I don't think that's something people would want from every game.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I know that you're excited, man. 14 days.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. Got both my pre-orders ready.
Oh,
It's gonna be a good time.
Nice.
Happy both you and Sin are getting your babies this month.
I know. God,
Yeah.
it's a good feeling, Bill. I can't wait for you to share in that glorious, golden shower that is getting the game that you want. Golden showers are weird. Don't do that. It's also not sanitary. Okay, so anyway, thank you guys all for being here. This is a reminder, we do this every other Thursday, starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here across all of our channels. Mine on Twitch, Scruffy's on Twitch, Enigma's on Twitch, and Bill's over on the YouTubes. Make sure that you guys tune in if you do want to be part of this amazing community. I mean, we've got anywhere, but it ranges anywhere from like 11 to 20 some odd people that are in here chatting and talking to us across all the different platforms. We engage with y'all. We talk to you guys one-on-one, and you become part of the show, and we love that. If you can't do that, hey, check us out, anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. Listen to us on your favorite podcast app. We're, like I said, up to 52. You are all the way up to current post this show. Again, we have a place where you guys can call in. Where do they do that from? They do that on the
Anchor.fm, the message
just on the
tab.
message tab.
Yeah.
Leave a voice recorded message, and we have said in the past, keep it,
Relevant
and nothing weird.
Yep.
Please.
We will shut that shit down. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of content out there, guys. We love doing this. And you are one of the main reasons why we do this. I mean, we would get on here and just jabber on about shit anyway. You should see our podcast chat. The reason I couldn't find this fucking thing is because there are messages upon messages upon messages and just of random shit. So we would just do it anyway. But we love doing it for you guys, and we hope that you find enjoyment out of hearing four real ass dudes talk about real ass games and real ass issues and give you a complete unadulterated opinion on how we feel. And maybe you
real ass shit, man.
Yeah, maybe you resonate. Maybe you're a Bill. Maybe you're an Enigma. Maybe you're a Scruffy. And nobody hopes to be a Sinin because that's just too much salt in your life. You don't
Enigmas, though.
You don't want that. So, but in any case, guys, thank you all for being here. Join us again in 2 weeks, right here on all of our channels. Or, like I said, download us on anchor.fm/prepatch podcast. But we will catch you guys next time. We are out.
Later.
Installation.